From Hollywood, it's time now for Johnny Dollar.
Ralph Single, Johnny. At Mono Guarantee Insurance Company.
Oh, hi, Rip. How's Hollywood's most eligible bachelor?
Listen, do you know who Hildegard Ransom is?
Are you kidding? That gal's coming out party hit the society column of every newspaper in the country.
Yeah, I know. So, how'd you like to have a date with her?
Hey, wait a minute. Weren't you dating the luscious Hildy Ransom a while back?
Yeah, I was, but I threw her over.
Oh, Rip, you just don't appreciate the finer things of life.
Oh, no? Well, if you had to put up with some of her wild ideas or crazy antics...
So what? What difference does it make? All that beauty, all that money?
Look, I ask you. You want a date with her? At company expense.
Well, why not?
Then grab the first plane you can and fly on out here.
Okay, I'm on my... what's the catch, Rip?
I'll, meet you at the Los Angeles International Airport.
Yeah, fine, but suppose you give me some
Bye.
idea...
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
And now, Act One of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Mono Guarantee Insurance Company, Los Angeles office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the delectable damsel matter. Expense account item 1, $107 even, Hartford to New York and a DC 7 mainliner to Los Angeles. Single is a good name for Rip. He has a knack for meeting wealthy, important people, particularly women. Yeah, they practically swoon under his spell, and he sells them insurance. I'm not sure I approve his love 'em and leave 'em tactics, but it's no wonder he knew Hildy Ransom, heiress to a couple of $1 million.
Hi, Johnny.
But he hadn't told me why he wanted me to meet her, and I was sure it wasn't just for a date.
Daydreaming, Johnny?
Huh?
Hey, your baggage is right here on the rack. Come on. I'll help you put in the car and we'll take off.
Oh, hi, Rip. Sure, where's the car?
Over here in the parking lot. Hey, what were you dreaming about there at the luggage pickup?
Oh, Hildegard Ransom, who else? And I take it your little romance with her, the one that hit the headlines a while back, is all over, huh?
Oh, sure. But I got her insurance business. All of it. And, Johnny, if I had to, I could live off the premiums of that one account alone.
And it must be pretty big, because if I remember the way you live, fancy clothes, fancy apartment.
Well, you can't take it with you, boy. Besides, it's all good for my business. Here we are. Hey, you like this little old truck?
The little old truck was a brand new Eldorado Biarritz, special paint job, gold fittings instead of chrome. Every accessory you can think of, including a bar in the back seat. Yeah, Playboy, party boy, Rip Single hadn't changed a bit.
And if you make contacts, make them right where the money is, and if it's a pretty girl that has the money and you can charm her into your arms, baby, you made a sale.
Okay. Now tell me, Rip.
Johnny, did you ever hear of the Cape Star?
What's that?
Well, it's an emerald, as big as a robin's egg, in a 14-carat mounting loaded with diamonds and rubies. A brooch. Value? Nearly 300,000 clams.
This Hildegard Ransom owns it?
Uh-huh. Or did.
How'd she lose it?
Well, all I know is that she called me and she said it was missing and that she wants me to go out and have a look.
Out where?
Well, I don't want that wacky dame to get her hands on me again. Now, you heard of some of her crazy escapades, like the time she flooded half of the Bel Air estates.
The what?
Well, she didn't like the looks of a fire plug on her 5 acres up there, so she had the gardener plant some dynamite under it.
Oh, brother.
Well, I gotta do something for laughs, she said.
Oh, the old story of the idle rich with too much time on her hands, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that kind of stuff can lead to trouble sometimes. Where is she, Rip? Bel Air, did you say?
Well, when she's home, which isn't often. Right now, I think it...
What the Sam Hill?
Oh, sure. All the comforts of home. Here now. Hello?
RHS 1121.
That's right, operator.
One moment, please. I have a call for you.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, brother, when I get rich enough to put a mobile phone in my car.
Oh, it doesn't cost much. As a matter of fact...
Rip Single, are you coming out here to see me or aren't you?
Oh, well, now, Hildy...
The fifth time I've called. And Rip, if you don't do something about my loss of the Cape Star, you call the police.
Well, sure, of course.
I might have known you would. So they'll tell the papers. More publicity for you in that lousy insurance business.
But, Hildy, I always notify the police...
Well, you know what that means. It means reporters, photographers, cops, half the town falling all over themselves when I get in.
Look, Hildy...
So if you or somebody else, and I don't mean the cops, if you don't get out and drive...
Darling,
You know what, I'll cancel every policy I have with you. My own, the houses, the cars, this old tub, everything.
Here, will you take this, Johnny?
Yeah, sure. Hello?
Hello, didn't you hear what I said?
Look, miss,
What? Who's that?
Johnny Dollar.
Johnny. So he got you. Well, now we'll have some action. Because you'll come out here right away, won't you?
Well, that
But
depends.
I don't know what to do. The Cape Star Emerald gone, and Rip's so busy he can't leave his office. Johnny, you have to come, please.
Well, look.
Oh, I knew you would, honey, and I'll be waiting for you. Rip can tell you how to get here. Bye.
Yeah.
Don't be fooled, Johnny. She really is that charming. When she wants to be.
Okay, Rip, take me to her.
Not quite.
Huh?
That old tub she mentioned is her 165-foot diesel yacht.
What?
And near as I can guess is about 70 miles offshore.
What, do you expect me to walk?
Oh, she also has a cruiser. A 58-footer parked down at Balboa. You can go in that.
Then you'd better swing around, brother. We're driving north.
Oh, there's a private airport up here off Sepulveda Boulevard where I keep my plane.
Your own plane?
Sure.
Holy smoke.
Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
And now for another episode in the life of Sergeant Donald Bellwether, my husband.
Reba? Reba, where are you?
In the kitchen, dear. I'm coming. Donald, what are you doing home so early? Are you sick?
No, I'm not sick. I came home early to get some work done, but you're going to have to help me.
Help you with what?
Well, you got me into this. You're going to have to help me get out.
Donald, you're not making sense. What did I get you into?
Well, it all started this morning. I walked into the lieutenant's office and I started bragging about how well my wife delivered her speech on safety at the PTA meeting.
Aw, that was sweet of you.
Yeah, sweet, but the lieutenant was quite impressed. In fact, he was so impressed he assigned me to give a talk on safety tomorrow at the enlisted men's meeting.
Well, good for you, Sergeant. You can do it.
Well, gee, I don't know, Reba. What'll I say?
Well, just say that, well, wait a minute. Here's some notes on traffic accidents. Just read these aloud.
Oh,
Come on. Come on, just try them for size.
Well, okay. Men, what if a disaster wiped out every man, woman, and child in Springfield, Illinois? We'd be shocked, wouldn't we? So would the entire world. Yet, a total of 95,000 accidental deaths occurred 2 years ago in the United States. That's about 10,000 more than the population of Springfield, the capital of Illinois.
Attaboy, you're doing fine. Now, go on.
And don't think the men in uniform are exempt from accidents. In one branch of the service alone, 600 were killed and 5,000 injured in a 12-month period. On many, many days during the Korean conflict, more servicemen lost their lives on the highway than on the battlefield. Hey, wait a minute, Reba. These aren't notes. This is a full speech, all typed and ready.
That's right, dear. I wrote it for you this morning.
Well, how did you know?
Well, your lieutenant and his wife were at the PTA meeting, dear.
Put up job. I see it all now. I only hope I can do this fine speech justice.
Oh, you will, darling.
Well, I'll try.
Oh, that's my Donald. That's my doll.
And now, Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the delectable Damsel Matter.
During the ride from Los Angeles to Balboa in Rip Single's private plane, he admitted to me that he hadn't made all his money in the insurance business. Seems a rich uncle had conveniently died some years before. Lucky stiff. Rip, I mean.
Look, all I know, Johnny, is that Hildy took the Cape Star Emerald along with her on this yachting trip, and now it's gone.
Yeah, how much of a trip?
Oh, Lord knows where she's been. She said she might end up in China, the Philippines, most anywhere. You see, she has the money, she has the time, and she's done everything under the sun that normal people do, so now she keeps looking for the unusual. Anything for a thrill.
Yeah, well, when did she discover the stone was missing?
She radioed to me today.
From out on the high seas?
Yeah. She said she was certain she had it the day before because she'd worn it. And then when she went to look for it, it was gone.
Some member of the crew, do you suppose?
I don't know. Maybe she dropped it overboard.
You mean purposely? To collect the insurance?
Who knows?
Oh, but if she has so much money...
Well, who knows? Maybe she hasn't lost it at all. She just wants company. Oh, look, there's Newport and Balboa down below. I'll circle Hildy's little summer house before we land.
Hildy Ransom's little summer house turned out to be a mansion right on the waterfront. And tied up to the long dock was not only the cruiser, but a snappy little speedboat, a small sailboat, and a couple of outboards. All very nice. Not so the skipper of the cruiser.
No, my orders the last time I spoke to the Hilda Moral were to take you out to her, Mr. Single, nobody else.
Look, we just talked to Miss Ransom by radio, and she wants you to take Mr. Dollar out there.
And I tell you, my last orders
Well,
were...
forget your last orders.
Hey,
I
look,
said those
look,
were
look.
my
Hey,
orders.
wait a minute, please. Skipper, have you got a radio on this cruiser?
Of course.
All right, then. Make contact with the Hilda Mora. Find out for yourself.
Okay, I'll do it.
At the same time, you can get her position, okay?
We'll see.
Well, give dear Hildy my love, or whatever else you can think of. Anything that'll keep her from switching her insurance to somebody else.
You are a louse, aren't you?
You don't like me, do you?
No. Were you ever really serious with her, Rip?
Yeah, sure, but I'm just not the marrying kind. So, Johnny, the field is clear for you.
Huh?
And if you want to latch onto a few $1,000,000, she's really mighty sweet, attractive gal. Well, let me know how you make out, Johnny. Oh, and please, find that emerald.
I beg your pardon, sir.
Yeah?
We're ready to sail whenever the gentleman's ready.
Okay, Skipper, let's go. The cruiser turned out to be a dilly, luxury from stem to stern. And the trip out to the Hilda Mora took much longer than I'd expected. In spite of the powerful engines that sent us through the water at over 18 knots, it was well after dawn the next morning when we hove to alongside the Hilda Mora. And that 165-foot diesel yacht made the cruiser look like a broken-down rowboat. As for Hildy Ransom, 5'6" or 7", she was blonde and she was beautiful, with quick blue eyes that had fun and laughter sparkling in them, and a figure.
Well, come on, Johnny, come aboard. And Marty, you keep the cruiser around in case Mr. Dollar wants to go ashore again.
Hi, sir, Miss Ransom.
Hi, Johnny. Welcome aboard the old tub.
You call this floating palace a tub?
Well, after the holes that got shot into it, it's a wonder we're still afloat.
You've been shot at?
Off Formosa on the China coast. We had a ball. For a while, I thought some of the red aircraft were going to strafe us one night.
Oh.
But it got too dark for them, and the captain, the old fuddy-duddy, turned off all our running lights, and we headed out to sea again.
What under the sun were you doing off the China coast, Miss Ransom?
No, it's Hildy. Oh, just finding out what goes on in the world. You know what I really wanted to do?
What?
Pay a visit to Joe and Lai.
The Red General?
Why not? But they wouldn't let us ashore long enough without a lot of fuss and bother, so... Now, let's go into my quarters and talk about the Cape Star.
Yeah, okay.
I could kill that Rip Single for not coming out here, but I'm so glad you could. You're even better looking than I'd heard.
Huh?
Are you as much of a wolf as Rip says you are?
Oh, well, now, wait a minute.
Okay. I'll find out for myself. It might be fun finding out. Johnny?
For a minute, I began to wonder. Maybe Rip wasn't the only one in this affair who turned on the charm to further his own ends. Hildy Ransom, let's face it, was a wealthy ne'er-do-well who'd do anything for a thrill. Couple her with a character like Rip Single. Yeah, I wondered. But then, walking along the deck with her, I saw something that suddenly changed my mind. One of the crew who ducked into a doorway when he spotted me. Who, I wasn't sure. But I had a sudden mental image of his eyes, somewhere in the past, looking at me over the sights of a gun.
Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
Do you know who said, "That man is free who is protected from injury"? Those words came from Daniel Webster, one of the most eloquent orators in American history. Webster knew that a man could not be free unless he lived in a country which recognized his right to freedom and created laws to protect that freedom. A slave state may say that its citizens are free, but as long as a single citizen can be harmed by the whim of a country's rulers, true freedom does not exist. A man is free only if his rights to freedom are protected. Remember the words of Daniel Webster. They are part of your American heritage. The free man must be protected from injury.
And now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the delectable damsel matter.
I could have waited till we got in to report the loss of the emerald, but sit down, Johnny, and I'll have some drinks brought in.
Okay, thanks. Now listen.
Because of where we've been on this trip, we'll have to go through customs, and there'll be the police and the reporters and so on. And whoever took the Cape Star might have a chance to...
What's the matter?
That drawer where I kept it. I'm sure I left that closed after I'd hunted for it, and... Excuse me. Johnny.
Yeah.
Look, it's here. The Cape Star, it's back.
You're sure?
Yes, of course. Here, look at it.
And you're sure it wasn't there before?
Of course I am. I turned this cabin upside down.
Hildy, this isn't some kind of a gag, is it?
What?
I mean, you're having me come all the way out here to find something that wasn't lost after all?
Johnny! Oh, Johnny, how can you say such a thing? Of course not. Now that you are here, and the star is safe and sound, I think we'll have fun together,
Hildy.
I've got so tired of the other guests I have on board. That stuffy old Professor Randolph and his boring wife, and Charlie Burton, and that girl he's always fawning over.
The Cape Star was actually missing?
I swear it, Johnny.
All right, then. I still have a job to do. I want to meet these guests of yours. Also, I want to talk to the crew.
Of course, Johnny. But later, I'll have some drinks brought in, and we can plan ourselves a ball between now and when we put into port. Oh, yes?
Miss Ransom.
Yes, Captain.
One of the men. One of the crew. Name's McCarty.
Yes?
It looked like appendicitis, ma'am, and I took the liberty of sending him ashore in the cruiser. It'll get there long before we can.
Well, of course, Captain. You've done exactly right.
Wait a minute. I'm not so sure of that.
Why, Johnny?
McCarty, huh? Short, dark, with a scar on his chin?
Yes, sir. They've already left.
What?
Yes, sir.
10 to 1 that McCarty is the man I want.
Johnny.
Hildy, we gotta stop. A radio call to the cruiser brought no response, and I had a sneaking suspicion the skipper of it had a gun in his back, a gun held by the supposedly sick McCarty. And the yacht, despite its size and power, could never catch up with that cruiser in 1,000 years.
If you're right, Mr. Dollar, we'll radio to the Coast Guard to intercept it.
But I couldn't be sure that I was right. And then I noticed the speedboat slung between davits on the yacht's afterdeck.
Of course, Johnny. And I'll go after them with you.
Oh, no, you won't.
Just for kicks, huh? Please.
No. Then 6, 8, 10 minutes later, however long it took to get the speedboat overside, the first mate and I were tearing across the ocean in pursuit of the cruiser.
That cruiser will do an even 20 knots if he opens her wide, Mr. Dollar. But she's no match for this, baby.
And pour it on. Come on, you see him yet?
Sure do. Dead ahead.
Yeah, I see him too.
Well, where's the skipper? McCarty's up on the bridge alone.
Hey, look out, that puff of smoke. He's shooting at us.
Then hang on. I'm going to swerve around. But he'd never hit us at this range anyhow.
Stay down low. He might get lucky.
You got a gun to answer him?
No.
Well, there's a very pistol. Use it for shooting up distress flares.
Where is it?
This cabinet under the dash. You see it?
Yeah, right. It's no match for a 38, but if you can swerve us in close enough, keep swerving.
Right. Hey, look. He's having to reload.
Then get us in there fast.
Here we go.
Yeah.
You got him!
Come on, give me another load.
Here, Dollar, right here.
Watch him, huh? He's changing course.
Hey, you're right.
Look out, he's turning into it. I kind of pieced things together after the yacht, the Hildemora, picked us up. By sheer luck, my shot with a flare gun had struck McCarty full on. He was badly burned. And after the smash-up, the mate had pulled me out of the drink. By then, the yacht caught up with us.
And do you know what he was doing, Johnny? That man who called himself McCarty?
Hi, Hildy.
Smuggling. Narcotics that he picked up in China.
Yeah?
He knew he'd never get through customs when we came to port, so he stole the Cape Star. Just long enough to make sure the cruiser would come out to us. He knew I'd sent for somebody.
Oh, yeah, I get it. Then he played sick to go back on the cruiser. That way he'd avoid customs and the police.
Yes, honey.
Where is he now?
Below, locked up. And after the way you hit him with that flare. Well, now he is sick. Darn it.
Darn it.
We didn't have to get him into a doctor. Gee, Johnny, you and I could cruise around and... Well, it will be 2 or 3 days before we get to port.
3 days. And what a 3 days. But, oh well. Expense account total, including transportation back to Hartford, $230 even. Remarks? It's funny, isn't it? You never know what you're going to get into when you take on even the most routine kind of case. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone, who also wrote today's story. Heard in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Chet Stratton, Barney Phillips, Jack Moyles, and Frank Gerstl. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Roy Rowan speaking.
Johnny Dollar has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
For your listening enjoyment, John Lund as Johnny Dollar.
Ed Gross, Johnny. Busy?
No, I just finished the case. How can I help you?
I'd like you to fly to California, Palma, California. Investigate the death of a woman who was reported to have perished in a fire. Sarah Deering.
Sarah Deering? That name has a familiar ring.
The silent movie star.
Oh, yeah. Well, she retired in the 20s, didn't she?
At the peak of her career. Our company carries a $100,000 policy on her life. And there's a rumor in Palma that Sarah Deering's death was not due to the fire.
Oh, yeah?
We got the tip from a news item in the local paper, the Palma News.
Who benefits by her death?
Her estate. We have no way of learning who she appointed as executor of her estate or who the beneficiaries might be. But a claim for the $100,000 will undoubtedly reach us before long.
Meanwhile, I'm to investigate this rumor?
Yeah. I'll send you our file on Sarah Deering and the newspaper item that gave us the tip.
You know, many great men have attained the highest office in our land, the presidency of the United States. Can you guess the name of this man? During his 50 years of public service, he held almost every office the public could give him. He was born in Virginia in 1758. And at the age of 18, when he left college to enter the Army, his cabinet boasted the names of such distinguished Americans as John Quincy Adams and John C. Calhoun. When he was reelected in 1820, he carried every state in the Union and won every electoral vote except one, which was cast for John Quincy Adams. If you don't have his name by now, here are two more clues. During his presidency, the first public high school was started, and the first steamship crossed the Atlantic. Who was he? James Monroe, 5th President of the United States. His life is part of your American heritage.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office Federal Life Insurance Company, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Sarah Deering matter. Expense account item 1, $153, plane fare and incidentals from Hartford to International Airport, Inglewood, California. I rented a convertible and drove to Palma, a little village perched high in the Santa Rosa Mountains, overlooking 1,000 square miles of Mojave Desert. I registered at the town's only hotel, then dropped around the offices of the Palma News.
Oh, hello. Can I help you?
I'm looking for the editor, Lacey. M. Lacey.
I'm Lacey, Maggie Lacey.
The editor?
The editor.
You're kidding.
I wish you salesmen would think of a new approach. I'm just a little weary excusing the fact that I'm not a grizzled old character who drinks ink in his coffee.
Miss Lacey.
And I've got all the printing supplies I need. I'm sorry. Perhaps next time you pass through.
I'm here to talk about a news item, Miss Lacey.
Which item?
This one.
Oh, what about it?
Well, it says that there are some rather peculiar circumstances, quote, surrounding the recent death of Palma's most famous citizen, Miss Sarah Deering. These circumstances were discovered by the Palma News and brought to the attention of Dan Cox, County Sheriff. As of this writing, Sheriff Cox has chosen to ignore the evidence submitted by the news. Why? Unquote. You write that?
Yes.
And you submitted the evidence to Sheriff Cox?
Yes, I did.
What sort of evidence, Miss Lacey?
Now, I'm not sure that's any of your business, Mr.
Dollar. Johnny Dollar. My credentials.
Oh, an insurance investigator.
For Federal Life.
They insured Sarah Deering?
For $100,000.
Who's the beneficiary, Mr. Dollar?
Her estate. The executor hasn't contacted my company as yet. In fact, we don't know who he is or where to reach him.
100,000, you said.
Just waiting to be claimed.
Well, that would explain why she was killed.
What did you say?
Sarah Deering was murdered, Mr. Dollar. I'm almost positive of it.
You better explain, Miss Lacey.
Well, as you know, Sarah Deering was burned to death in her bed. At least that's what the county coroner certified. Accidental death due to fire of unknown origin.
But you disagree.
And I'll show you why. I found this in the ruins of her bedroom.
A medicine bottle.
The label was burnt off.
What's this stuff caked in the bottom?
Well, Pete, the local pharmacist, analyzed it for me. It's what's left of a very powerful sedative.
Is this the evidence you submitted to the sheriff?
Mm-hmm. And he said it wasn't anything to be concerned about. Now, listen, Mr. Dollar. The stuff in this bottle can only be purchased by prescription. And it wasn't purchased here in Palma.
So?
So I think those two men brought it. I think they drugged Sarah Deering and then rigged up some kind of contraption that would start a fire in her bedroom after they got out of town.
Hey, hold on. You left me with two men. What two men?
The ones who come to see Sarah Deering every year on the same day.
Who are they?
Nobody seems to know. They usually come together on the noon bus and leave town on the 6:20. I took a photograph of them last year. Trying to do a story on them someday, you know, from the angle of mysterious admirers make yearly pilgrimage to see ex-movie queen. Here it is.
And these men appeared on the day of her death.
Mm-hmm. They left on the 6:20, and the fire was discovered at 8.
Any idea where they come from?
Hollywood. I checked with the bus drivers.
You've done a very thorough job, Miss Lacey.
Sarah Deering has been my idol ever since I was old enough to dream. I read everything ever written about her. She was a wonderful woman.
Yeah, so I've heard. I understand she was a recluse.
What woman wouldn't be after the heartbreak she's had? You know, she died broke, Mr. Dollar. Except for the insurance policy.
Did she owe anyone?
No. No, there was just enough left in her bank account to pay her few debts and Hilda's wages.
Who's Hilda?
Hilda Brower, her personal maid. Been with her ever since she started in pictures.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for your help, Miss Lacey. I'll keep in touch. I found County Sheriff Dan Cox seated behind a well-ordered desk in his well-ordered office. He listened carefully while I explained the purpose of my call, and when I finished, he wagged his massive shock of silver-white hair.
Oh, Mr. Dollar, I'm afraid your company has been misled by an overzealous newspaper woman. Sarah Deering's death was accidental.
What about the sedatives found in her room, Sheriff? Maggie Lacey claims they were prescription drugs not purchased here in Palma.
Then Miss Deering must have purchased them elsewhere.
A recluse who hadn't been off her estate for 20 years?
Hilda Brower, her maid, went lots of places for Miss Deering.
Mm-hmm. How about the two men who called on her the day of her death?
Old friends, Mr. Dollar, came to see Miss Deering every year on her birthday.
You know them, Sheriff?
Yes.
You care to give me their names?
I would care, Mr. Dollar. They were friends of a very fine lady. I know she wouldn't want them to be annoyed because of some foolish rumors about her death.
You seem very certain that it was accidental.
It couldn't have been anything else. Sarah Deering didn't have an enemy in the world.
I get the impression that you knew her rather well.
We were close friends, Mr. Dollar.
I see. Sheriff, did you consider the possibility of suicide?
Impossible. A woman who enjoyed living as much as she did doesn't take her own life.
Yet she shut herself away from the world.
And why not? Her fame had brought her most of what the world had to offer. She preferred solitude.
Was she in good health, Sheriff?
Sarah Deering was always in delicate health, though she'd never admit it, especially to herself.
I see. Was there an autopsy?
The county coroner felt the circumstances didn't warrant an autopsy.
And you agreed?
Naturally, Mr. Dollar. I happen to be sheriff and county coroner.
I drove to the outskirts of town and located Sarah Deering's rambling Spanish villa, where I found Hilda Brower, an enormous, tearful woman.
It was my evening out. Same as every Thursday, Mr. Dollar. I go to early movie. I'm home at 8. I smell smoke. It comes from her bedroom. There's fire. I try to reach her, but the flames...
It's all right. You did what you could, I'm sure.
Excuse me, please. I'm not myself, you understand?
Of course. Hilda, who were the two men who visited Miss Deering that day?
Two men?
The ones who came every year on her birthday.
I do not know any men.
Now, Hilda, I know you're upset.
I cannot tell you any more. I don't know any more.
You know their names, Hilda. What are they?
I cannot say any more. Please, go away now.
Now, look, Hilda.
You best leave, Mr. Dollar.
Oh.
Wow, Sheriff Cox.
Hilda can't tell you any more than I've already told you. Case is closed. Why persist in stirring up ugly rumors?
I've got a job to do, Sheriff.
You've done it. Now, why not leave us in peace?
I'll be going when I'm satisfied.
That's your privilege, sir. Meanwhile, don't trespass on this property again.
Just as you say, Sheriff. Goodbye. Sheriff Cox didn't bother to see me out, so I had a chance to pause in Sarah Deering's living room and study some photographs which had caught my eye earlier. There were 4 of them, all enshrined in gold frames, all of the same handsome young man. The face was weak-mouthed, without character, and vaguely familiar.
Well, Mr. Dollar, back so soon? Any luck?
I don't know yet, Miss Lacey. May I see the photograph of those mysterious visitors you showed me before?
Oh, yes, of course. Here you are. You got a lead, Mr. Dollar.
I think so. You see this man? The tall one?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there are 4 photos of him in Sarah Deering's living room.
Were they autographed?
No, but they were framed in enough gold to indicate he must have held a very special place in her life. Of course, he's a lot older in this photograph.
How about his pudgy little companion here?
Well, apparently he didn't rate enshrinement. Only the tall one made the Hall of Fame.
I wonder who he is.
Miss Lacey, are you absolutely positive these 2 men visited Sarah Deering the day she died?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Thanks. I'll borrow this photo if you don't mind. Be back tomorrow.
Mr. Dollar, Johnny, wait.
Yeah?
Where are you going in such a lather?
To the Hollywood Public Library to find a name for this face.
If you think the person in this photograph was an actor, Mr. Dollar, his picture and name will undoubtedly be cataloged in the Players Directory or prior to 1937, the Standard Casting Directory.
Well, fine.
However, unless you know approximately when he was active, you may be in for a very long search.
Oh?
A new edition of the directory is published 3 times a year. Each contains hundreds of performers.
I see. Well, dust off the 1923 editions. I'll work my way forward. 4 hours and what seemed to be 400,000 faces later, I found my man in a 1928 edition of the Standard Casting Directory. He was Neville Thomas, represented by an agent named Mattie Freeman. A phone call to the Artist Managers Guild disclosed that Freeman had gone out of business 10 years ago. He was now owner of Mattie's Steakhouse, an expensive eatery on La Cienega Boulevard, Hollywood's Restaurant Row. At the bar, I was about to relieve my parched throat when who should approach but the pudgy little man in the photo Maggie Lacey had loaned me.
Oh, I'm Matty Freeman. Edward said you want to see me?
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't catch your name, Mr.
Dollar. Johnny Dollar. Insurance investigator.
What can I do for you?
Well, I was looking for an actor you used to represent, Neville Thomas. But you'll do fine. For now.
I don't understand.
This photo give you a hint?
Never one me.
Taken in Palma last year.
What'd you get this?
That's not what I'm here to talk about, Mr. Freeman.
Okay, so you've got a photograph.
And a witness who saw you and Neville Thomas in Palma a few hours before Sarah Deering died.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Dollar, and if you'll excuse...
Just a minute.
What is it?
You mean to say that you've never heard of Sarah Deering?
It was my privilege to be in the business when Sarah Deering was making motion picture history.
Well, feeling the way you do, it seems to me you'd be willing to cooperate.
How?
Explain what you were doing in Palma the day Sarah Deering died.
I should explain anything to you.
I just thought maybe you'd like to clear yourself.
What?
Suspicion of Sarah Deering's murder?
I'm having a pipe dream, Dollar. Sarah Deering died on a fire.
Okay. Then let's move on to Neville Thomas. Where can I find him?
I wouldn't know.
All right. Have it your way. I'll find Neville Thomas with or without your help. My company can usually get police cooperation. I'll see you, Mr. Freeman.
1 second, Dollar.
Yeah?
Just what does police cooperation imply?
Oh, a statewide alarm for Neville Thomas. Wanted for questioning in connection with the death of Sarah Deering.
The sheriff at Palma certified the death was accidental. The matter's closed.
Any matter of murder can always be reopened. It'll be messy, lots of newspaper publicity, but I'm going to find Thomas. See you around.
Wait, Dollar.
Yeah?
Neville Thomas is in my office.
if I break in here for a moment to say a few words? Just the other day, I was having lunch with a group of newspaper reporters. We were talking about the government and what goes into its operation when a thought struck me. It's a funny thing, I said. They call one branch of the government the State Department when it handles all of our foreign affairs. Can any of you fellows explain that? Well, one of the reporters who writes political news piped up and said, actually, the State Department does more than handle foreign affairs. It also publishes all of the laws that have been passed by Congress and issues all the passports and visas for anyone traveling outside the United States. Well, just then the waitress brought us our coffee, and she entered the conversation. Don't forget, she said, if you're ever on a quiz show, you can maybe win a trip to the moon by telling them that the State Department has the job of making sure the Great Seal of the United States doesn't get lost. And it acts sort of like a governmental Emily Post, too. Well, while she was making out our checks, she added this bit of information. Did you ever hear of the Division of Protocol? That's part of the State Department, too. It's the outfit that makes sure foreign diplomats who visit America get introduced the way they should and get seated in the right places at official dinners and things like that. Well, after she gave us all that information, we tipped her and went back to work. And now I think it's time we got back to our program.
And now with our star, John Lund, we bring you the second act of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar. Matty Freeman led me back to his office with all the grudging grace of a kid surrendering a stolen apple. The man he introduced as Neville Thomas was still handsome, but branded with a bitter, down-at-the-mouth expression.
You asked me if I knew Sarah Deering. Why, I was her leading man in 5 pictures, Mr. Dollar. She was a vixen, temperamental, the most exasperating woman in the world.
But she had a great gift, Neville.
A gift for stealing scenes, yes.
When did you last see her, Mr. Thomas?
Yes? All right. Excuse me, I'm wanted outside. I know you'll cooperate with Mr. Dollar, Neville.
Don't worry, Matty. My ex-agent stole me blind when I was on the top of the heap. I drop around here once in a while to admire the house my money built.
Let's get back to Sarah Deering.
If you insist.
When did you see her last?
Not since our last picture.
Oh, that's not true.
No?
You saw her the day she died.
I'm afraid you're mistaken, Mr. Dollar.
You were positively identified.
By whom?
By someone who's seen you in Palma every year on Sarah Deering's birthday.
Fantastic.
Take a look at this photograph. Care to reconsider your answer?
Only to this extent, Mr. Dollar. I'll admit I did visit Sarah Deering occasionally, as seldom as possible, and only after she besieged me with letters and phone calls. You see, Sarah was in love with me. Had been for many years.
Oh. And you?
I'm afraid I didn't share Matty's adoration for her, Mr. Dollar. Pity is the nicest word to express my feeling for Sarah.
I see. What do you know about the real cause of her death?
I read that she died in a fire. Has there been some further development?
You were seen leaving her home less than 2 hours before the fire was discovered.
Impossible. I can prove I was here in Hollywood at the apartment of a friend.
Who?
Matty Freeman.
Well, it didn't take a mental colossus to deduce that Thomas and his ex-agent had rehearsed their alibi before I ever set foot in the steakhouse. The clincher, if I needed one, came as I pulled out of the parking lot. I spotted Matty talking to someone in a parked sedan. The someone obliged by striking a match to his cigar, which revealed that it was Sheriff Dan Cox. Right then, I decided to call it a day. I registered at the plaza, took an aspirin, a hot shower, and a sleeping tablet, in that order.
Hello. Johnny, I phoned every hotel in town. Thank heavens I finally located you.
Well, lucky you, whoever you are.
Maggie Lacey, Johnny. I've got to see you right away.
Who's the Maggie? It's 2:00 in the morning. I'll drive down first thing tomorrow.
I'm not phoning from Palma, Johnny. I'm here in Hollywood. I'll be in the plaza lobby in 5 minutes.
Hello, Maggie. Hey, Maggie.
Johnny. Oh, you look awful.
Oh, I told you. I took a sleeping tablet. Oh, it's a blockbuster. Oh, my eyelids feel like lead sash weights.
Come here. Let's sit down over here.
Okay. Better, Maggie. Ooh, legs happy.
Well, when I missed you at the library, I decided to do a little research on Sarah Deering.
Well, good for you.
Well, they have a wonderful Sarah Deering scrapbook with all her news photos and clippings. I borrowed this.
Hey, do these agonized eyes deceive me, or the people in this photo?
Read the caption, Johnny.
Relaxing with Miss Sarah Deering beside her Hollywood swimming pool are the 4 lucky people to whom the motion picture star will someday leave her multi-million-dollar estate. They are, left to right, Miss Hilda Brower, her personal maid, Mr. Matty Freeman, her agent, Neville Thomas, her current leading man, and Dan Cox, her attorney.
Think of it, Johnny. Sheriff Cox, the man who insists her death was accidental, is one of her heirs.
Well, I'm not the least surprised. Well, I'll see you in the morning, Maggie.
Well, Johnny, wait. Aren't you going to do something?
Yeah. I'm going to point you toward the YWCA, then send a wire to my company. Well, wait quietly for an answer. Oh, no. Johnny Dollar.
Ed Gross, Johnny.
Oh, hello. What time is it?
9 here. 6 where you are.
Oh, no.
Say, I got your wire. What are you doing in Hollywood? Tried phoning you on Palma last night. Where have you been?
I'll explain later, Mr. Gross. Say, how about Sarah Deering's insurance? Anybody claim the $100,000 yet?
Yeah, got a registered letter yesterday. Mailed 2 days ago from the executor of her estate.
Yeah? Who is he?
A Palma man named Cox. Dan Cox.
I checked out of the plaza, expense account item 3, $12, and was halfway to Palma before I realized I'd forgotten to pick up Maggie Lacey. But I quieted my conscience by making a mental promise that she'd get an exclusive story on Hilda Brower's confession. At this point, confronted with all the information I had, I figured Hilda would be the easiest of the 4 heirs to break. I learned how wrong a guy can be when I pulled into the drive of Sarah Deering's villa and discovered I was expected.
Come in, Mr. Dollar.
Well, you do get around, Sheriff.
Yes, you too, sir. Fortunately, your moves are fairly predictable.
So you're here to see that I don't talk to Hilda again,
Hilda is ill. She can't be disturbed.
Let me read you a caption on an old newspaper photo. Relaxing with Miss Sarah Deering beside her Hollywood swimming pool are the 4 lucky people to whom the motion picture star will someday leave her multi-million-dollar estate. They are, left to right, Hilda Brower, Matty Freeman...
Well, you need
Neville...
to go on, Mr. Dollar. I see what you're driving at. You think the 4 of us murdered Miss Deering for her insurance?
Well, it's the most logical theory to date, Sheriff. Especially since you happen to be the executor of the estate.
Mr. Dollar, Sarah Deering was not murdered. However, I will admit that she did not die as a result of the fire.
Oh?
She was dead when the fire was started.
Started? Who was the firebug?
Hilda. She came home, found Miss Deering dead, an open bottle of sedatives beside the bed.
Suicide?
That's what Hilda thought. She must have gone out of her head with grief. She told me later that her only thought was to protect Miss Deering's name from the shame of a suicide's death.
So she set the fire to destroy the evidence?
Yes.
And to circumvent the suicide clause in Sarah Deering's policy.
What's that?
Policy is not payable if the insured dies by her own hand, Sheriff.
Your tone implies that I was unaware of that fact, Mr. Dollar.
I'm not interested one way or the other. My job's finished. I'm reporting death by suicide to my company.
You haven't heard the full story, Mr. Dollar.
There's more?
Sarah Deering was not a suicide.
You just said she was.
I said Hilda thought she was.
Get to the point, Sheriff.
After Mattie Freeman and Neville Thomas paid Miss Deering their usual birthday visit, she had another caller.
Who?
He's down the hall in the study. This way. Because of your skepticism, Mr. Dollar, I had to request the state police to get the man you're going to meet. While the hunt was going on, I knew you'd be tracking down Mattie Freeman and Thomas, that you'd dig into Miss Deering's past, find things which would be misleading. Well, the maneuvering is over now. This gentleman can tell you the real truth about Sarah Deering's death. Mr. Dollar, this is Dr. James Harding.
Oh, so you're Dollar, huh?
That's right.
You've caused a lot of trouble, Dollar. Broke up the first vacation I've had in 10 years.
I'm sorry, but there's a matter of $100,000.
Please don't interrupt. I've got to be back in Beverly Hills by noon. Got patients waiting.
Well, then get to the point, Doctor.
All right. I've got a little hideout in the desert. That's where the state police found me. I was on my way there the day Sarah Deering died. I had to pass through Palmer, so I stopped off to see her.
Dr. Harding was her physician, Mr. Dollar.
And a very old friend. I was about 7 when I drove up. I found her alone. She'd had a sudden attack. She was dying.
Dying?
Sarah Deering had been dying for years, Mr. Dollar. I won't go into the medical details. Suffice it to say, her courage couldn't hold off the inevitable any longer. As she was feeling fast, in great pain.
So you gave her the sedative?
Yes. She died quietly.
Then Jim came down to my office to report her death. I was out on a call.
I didn't want to wait, so I filled out a death certificate, left it with a note on Dan's desk, and then drove on to my desert place.
Meanwhile, Hilda returned home from the movies, found Miss Deering dead, and the bottle of sedative Jim had forgotten. The rest you know, Mr. Dollar.
Well, it's none of my affair or my company's. But just for the record, why did you report Sarah Deering died as a result of the fire?
If I'd reported the real truth, then I would have had to charge a very devoted servant and companion with arson.
But Hilda did set the fire, Sheriff, and arson is a crime.
Mr. Dollar, do you think Hilda committed a crime?
Well, legally, yes, but morally, well, as I said, it's none of my affair, is it? Goodbye, gentlemen.
Goodbye, Mr. Dollar.
Expense account item number 4. $5 to check out of the Palma hotel room I never had the chance to use. Item 5, $51.75, gas, oil, and rental on the convertible. Item number 6, $150, plane fare and incidentals back to Hartford. Expense account total, $372.25. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
John Lund as Johnny Dollar.
We're ready on your call to Boston. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Yes?
Mr. Semplin?
Yes, but I don't believe I remember you, Mr. Dollar.
Well, we've never met. Your company hired me here in Hartford to investigate the Jean Maxwell death.
Oh, sorry they didn't advise me.
Well, they probably will. I called you to find out the name of the officer in charge of the case, if I could.
It's, a Lieutenant DeRosa.
DeRosa. Do you happen to know what their theory is, if any?
Theory? I don't think they've arrived at a definite theory.
Still a toss-up between murder and suicide, huh? Okay, Mr. Semplin, I'll be in touch.
You know, many great men have attained the highest office in our land, the presidency of the United States. Can you guess the name of this man? During his 50 years of public service, he held almost every office the public could give him. He was born in Virginia in 1758. And at the age of 18, when he left college to enter the Army, his formal schooling ended. As president, his cabinet boasted the names of such distinguished Americans as John Quincy Adams and John C. Calhoun. When he was reelected in 1820, he carried every state in the Union and won every electoral vote except one, which was cast for John Quincy Adams. If you don't have his name by now, here are 2 more clues.
During his presidency, the first public high school was started, and the first steamship crossed the Atlantic. Who was he? James Monroe, 5th President of the United States. His life is part of your American heritage.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Home Office, Corinthian Life Insurance Company, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Jean Maxwell matter. Expense account item 1, 75 cents. Phone call to Boston, advising your manager there of my assignment. Item 2, $28, car rental and mileage from my Hartford apartment to police headquarters, Boston.
What's the matter, Dollar? Don't you trust me?
Oh, sure I do, Lieutenant. But these insurance people get uneasy when there's a choice between suicide and murder, unless the murder motive is the policy.
And you don't think there's a chance of that?
Well, I wouldn't say definitely not, but the Maxwell girl made her mother her beneficiary, and her mother's an invalid in a rest home.
Did you know the mother is taken up with an old flame?
No, I didn't.
Goes to see her a couple, 3 times a week. Crazier things have happened. I'll get the file. Sit down.
Okay.
Yeah, this is all we've got so far, pending coroner's inquest and autopsy report. Here's a photo of where she was found.
Huh. Shallow water. That's the bridge?
Yes, she was lying right about there. But I don't think you have to worry about suicide, Dollar. As far as I'm concerned, it wasn't.
Yeah, I'll buy that, too. I wouldn't say this bridge is a suicide type. Too low.
Yes, and there's another thing. I've been on the force for more years than I like to count, and I've run into my share of suicide. I've never known a woman to do it this way without taking off her coat.
Oh?
Usually shoes, too. I've learned that's part of a generally accepted pattern.
The Maxwell girl didn't fit the pattern.
Here's the way she looked. Coat on, belt still tied, shoes, and her purse is missing. We're dragging the stream for it.
Mm-hmm. How old was she?
21.
She was a beautiful girl. How much questioning have you done, Lieutenant?
Not as much as we'll do after the inquest.
When'll that be?
Day after tomorrow. Do you want anything more here?
No, thanks, Lieutenant. I'll check with you later. I drove out to the stream where they'd found the girl's body, and there chalked up another point against her death being a suicide. The bridge from which she dropped was a good 4 miles from town. Boston had better bridges to offer within its limits. I followed the river bank and found the approximate spot from which the police photograph had been snapped. On the assumption that she'd been brought there in a car, the placement of her body in relation to the 2 lanes on the bridge made it look as if the car was going toward Boston, not away from it. 5 minutes later, I was heading the same way.
So?
Miss Mary O'Neill?
Yeah?
The manager suggested I come up. He told me you shared this apartment with Jean Maxwell.
Yeah, that's right. Who are you?
My name is Dollar. I'm from her insurance company. I'd like to talk to you about her if I could.
I suppose so, but there's nothing I can do now. This is the biggest shock I ever had. I always said there'd be trouble, but I never thought she'd do anything like this.
Maybe she didn't.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, there are signs that say that maybe she didn't commit suicide.
There are?
Do you think she had any reason to?
Well, that's what I said. I never thought she would. Sit down any place.
Thanks. Did you say you expected trouble?
Yeah. I kept telling her. It was the way she went. Like she couldn't live fast enough. Like there wasn't enough time to get everything done. She's been like that ever since she got rid... her mother went into that hospital. Jean was all tied down taking care of her before.
Well, what could have caused trouble?
Well, I'm not saying she was wrong or anything. But there were too many men.
You mind telling me who they are?
I don't know.
Only about one, Harold Corey. He's gone with her the longest. He's a big blonde truck driver.
Harold Corey.
Yeah, he drives for the Seaboard Trucking Company. Sometimes he goes way out to the West Coast. And while he was gone, Jeannie didn't stay home and catch up on her reading, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think I do.
Out with a different guy almost every night. I didn't pry, but she'd never tell me who they were. You think somebody killed her, don't you?
Would you help me try to find out?
What could I do?
Well, you didn't want to pry, but I get paid to. I'd like to look at her things.
I suppose it's my duty, sort of, isn't it?
Well, in a way it is, yeah, but I can't force you to.
Oh, I know it's the thing to do. Some of her drawers are locked, but I'll show you what I can.
I started on the locked dresser drawers. They gave up and opened after a brief struggle, but contained on the whole things that might normally be locked up because of their value. Imported perfumes, expensive lingerie, and some jewelry. The only thing that looked as if it might have been hidden for the sake of secrecy was under the jewel box. There was a gold house key with a heart-shaped bow.
I never saw that before. And I never saw the perfume before either.
That's a few $100s worth of perfume. And the rest of this stuff. Was Jean used to such expensive things?
Not that I knew about. Harold Corey sure couldn't shell out that kind of money. And that heart-shaped key, that's cozy.
I'd like to keep it if I could.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. After all, it isn't mine. I might get into trouble.
No, you won't, I promise you. I want to find out where it was made, if I can, and who ordered it.
Oh, yeah, I get it. Sure, I wouldn't stop you from doing that, even if I could.
A phone call to the Seaboard Trucking Company gave me the information that Harold Corey was out on a run to Philadelphia, but was expected about 3 in the morning. Expense account item 3, $7. Drinks and dinner after I checked into the Bristol Hotel. Item 4, 10 cents. Phone call to Jean Maxwell's employer. Edward Hollis was at home and would see me.
Come into the living room, Mr. Dollar. We may as well be comfortable.
Well, it's nice of you to see me, Mr. Hollis. I thought it would be better to do it this way rather than bother you at work.
Of course, and I appreciate it. The atmosphere at the office has been very gloomy. This is Mrs. Hollis, Mr. Dollar.
How do you do?
Quite well, thank you. I didn't know the poor girl, but it's a dreadful thing.
Yes, I'm afraid it is.
I simply don't understand. A young girl like that with everything to live for.
It may be even worse than that.
Worse? How could it be worse?
Well, it looks more and more as though her death was not a suicide.
Mr. Dollar.
I didn't mention it on the phone. The police think it was murder. So do I.
I can't believe this. Why do you think that?
You see, the police know how people commit suicide. On an average, all suicides do certain things. The Maxwell girl didn't do any of them.
Well, this is a shock. I suppose I could be dragged into a courtroom along with everybody else who knew her. Beatrice, you run along upstairs. There's no reason for your going through this.
All right, Edward. I think I'd rather. Good night, Mr. Dollar.
Good night. I'm sorry, but couldn't be helped.
Of course it couldn't. I understand. Please don't be long, Edward.
I won't, dear. Could I fix you a drink, Mr. Dollar?
No, thanks. I'll make this as fast as possible. I don't know how much you knew about Jean Maxwell's private life.
Oh, I know nothing. I have a number of girls in the office. As long as they do their work well, I ask no questions. As a matter of fact, I have no right to.
Sure. Well, from what I've gathered, she was mixed up emotionally. She hadn't had much freedom because of an invalid mother she took care of.
Oh, I didn't know that.
When the mother went into a hospital, Jean began to make up for lost time. She led her friends to believe that she was friendly with a lot of men. But I don't believe that.
Oh?
I think it was one man. One with enough money to buy her expensive things. Perfumes, jewelry, even a gold key.
Well, I have to admit that she was very beautiful.
You say that she worked with a number of girls at your office.
Yes, there were 11 of us.
Well, out of those 11, did she have any close friends that you know of?
Well, let's see. The Dyer girl, Grace, that is. They seem to be quite friendly. I couldn't be sure of any of the others.
Oh, would you give me all their names then? I'd like to talk to them.
Of course. Oh, perhaps it'd be better if you phoned me at the office in the morning. I could give you their addresses as well.
All right, we'll do it that way. Well, thanks very much, Mr. Hollis. I'm sorry meeting you couldn't have been more pleasant. The next morning, I had a list of 11 feminine names and the address of Harold Corey, Jean's truck driving friend. By 10:30, I was following up the latter.
Come back later, will you? I can't see anybody now.
I'm an investigator from Jean Maxwell's insurance company. I want to talk to you about her.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm sorry to bother you. My name is Dollar.
Come on in. I've been out of town. I didn't know about what happened till I got the paper this morning. It's really got me rocking.
Sure. I can understand that.
How much do you know about her? Why did she do it?
She didn't.
What do you mean by that?
It's not suicide, it's murder.
Murder?
You knew her pretty well, didn't you?
Yeah, pretty well.
Did you buy gifts for her?
Well, once in a while. Birthday, Christmas, times like that.
What kind of gifts?
What are you driving at?
Can't you remember?
Yeah, sure. Candy, handkerchiefs, things like that. I don't think I like your approach, mister.
Now, calm down, Mr. Corey. I'm giving you a chance to rehearse before the police get at you. When did you see her last?
Night before I left for Philadelphia.
And when was that?
2 nights ago, Tuesday. Left at 5 Wednesday morning.
She was found Wednesday morning.
I know that.
You're in a spot. Do you know that?
You're telling me people think I killed her? Me? I loved her. I wanted to marry her.
I'm sorry, friend. In this situation, that's a motive, not an alibi.
Get out of here, will you? Get out and leave me alone.
You're not helping yourself with this act. You're making it worse.
Get out.
Lieutenant DeRosa.
This is Dollar, Lieutenant. I just left a friend of the Maxwell girl. Name of Harold Corey.
Dollar, if I could have located you, I could have saved you the trouble.
What do you mean?
The death was suicide after all.
What? How come?
Autopsy report. There was a concussion from that drop from the bridge, but that wasn't the cause of death.
Now, wait a minute. Not so fast.
Cause of death was from carbon monoxide. Looks like she pulled the suicide where it would embarrass somebody, and her body was tossed from the bridge to get her out of the way.
Mind if I cut in to say something, fellows? It won't take too long, since a word to the wise is sufficient. And in the English language, there is one word which is important to just about everyone in the world. That word is security. Security has several different meanings, however. Usually, we think of it in connection with the protecting of our military installations and defense industries. But it means more than that. There is a security which applies to every man, woman, and child in America. The security which comes from being in good health, having a good education, and being well taken care of in case things get a little too tough to handle by oneself. This kind of security is the problem of the President's newest cabinet member, the Secretary of Health, Education, and Welfare. This department ties together the work of several governmental agencies. First, there is the United States Public Health Service, which strives to make certain that the general health of the people in our country is in the best of condition. Then there is the Food and Drug Administration, which guarantees that the food we eat is pure and safe to eat. The Social Security Board, which takes care of old people, children, and the blind who need assistance, also comes under the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare, as does the United States Office of Education. This office does research on the educational possibilities, changes, and opportunities, and passes on its information to the various state boards of education. As you can see, the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare is one of the most important agencies in our government, assuring us, as it does, of a normal and healthy way of life.
And now, with our star, John Lund, we bring you the second act of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar.
Oh, hi, Dollar. Sit down.
Oh, thanks.
Here's the autopsy report. Death by asphyxia caused by presence of large amounts of carbon monoxide, agent unknown. That's it, probably automobile exhaust. That's the most popular these days.
Huh. You believe this, Lieutenant?
I believe what's on the report.
And how did you say she got into the river?
I said maybe she committed suicide somewhere so that somebody would get involved. To get rid of her, she was probably dumped in the stream. What's the matter, Dollar? I thought you'd be happy with this suicide evidence.
The insurance company hired me to dig up the facts. If it was suicide, all right. But if it wasn't, they want to know that, too. And I still don't think it was.
Why not?
Well, from what I've learned, she wasn't the type. She liked to be alive. And she played it hard enough to leave some motives lying around. Jealousy, for one.
That boyfriend of hers, Corey?
He's a possibility. I talked to him, and for my money, he deserves checking. And then there's, this.
What does this unlock?
I wish I could tell you. But it was undoubtedly given to her by somebody. I'd like to know who. You think you could put a couple of men on it? Find out where it was made?
All right, Dollar. I'll stick my neck out that far for you. I'm under orders, you know. I have to be assigned before I can investigate.
Sure, I understand.
But I'll take your story upstairs and see what the brass says. Let me know what else you find.
I will. Oh, do you have the address of the old flame you mentioned? The mother's friend?
Still like to settle for fraud, wouldn't you? The desk sergeant will give it to you. His name's Paul Anderson.
I'm from Gene Maxwell's insurance company, Mr. Anderson. Wonder if you could spare me a few minutes.
Yes, I suppose so. Come in. You're the adjuster so soon?
No, I'm an investigator.
Oh. I didn't know she had a policy.
No, she did. $25,000 to go to her mother.
I see.
But her death has been classed as suicide, which voids the policy. The 2-year self-destruction clause is still in effect.
Now, that's a pity.
Well, why do you say that?
The least she could have done for poor Mildred.
That's her mother?
Yes, an extremely young mother. Who has almost ruined her life for that girl.
I didn't know that.
The daughter was born when Mildred was only 17, and she was left to care for the girl herself. I've helped as much as I could. I don't want you to misunderstand. There's nothing to be hidden. I suppose it is unusual. I did meet Jean first. But when she took me to her home and I met her mother, I realized that Jean was, well, no more than a cheap little opportunist. The complete opposite from her mother. As I say, I suppose it is unusual.
Oh, that doesn't make any difference. The point is that you dropped the girl in favor of her mother. Is that it?
It wasn't the gross situation you evidently wish it had been. Now, look here, this has gone far enough. You've asked me these questions for only one reason, so that you can draw your own conclusions. You think I sent Mildred to the home to get her out of the way, now, don't you? Well, that is not the case. But you can think what you like, and go ask Mildred if you care to.
No, I won't bother her. Do you know anything about a gold key that Jean had?
A gold key? No, I don't know anything about a gold key. I've known very little about Jean at all these past months.
So many people seem to know so little about her.
Mr. Dollar. I've been wondering how you were making out.
How are you, Mary? Have the police been here yet?
No, and I'll be scared to death if they do come. I feel guilty the minute one looks at me.
Oh, that's common enough. Have you remembered anything that could help?
Not a thing, Mr. Dollar. And I hardly slept last night. It's creepy. With her room just like it was the last time she left it. I've got to either move out or get somebody else in there.
Yeah. Mary, did Jean ever mention Paul Anderson to you?
Anderson? No, I don't think so. Not that I can remember anyway. She was always kind of secret about things.
She did talk to you about her mother, though.
Oh, a little, yeah. Thought her being in the hospital.
Anything about how she got there?
No. Except I got the idea Jean thought it was wrong how much fun she was having without her mother to worry about.
She never told you who was paying the bills?
No, who was? This Anderson guy?
Yeah. You're sure she never mentioned him?
I'm sure I'd remember if she did because I was curious and she never mentioned any of them.
Okay. Thanks, Mary. I checked that night with 6 of the 11 girls who had worked, lunched, and chatted with Jean Maxwell. Their collective description was of a girl who listened to and enjoyed what other people said, but had little to offer herself. None of them knew anything about her private life. But the next morning, the police located a goldsmith who said he remembered making the heart-shaped key. I went out to see him and then got back to Lieutenant DeRosa.
How'd you make out with that fussy little man, Dollar?
Well, we found the day the key was ordered, and he remembered a few things, because a councilman's wife came in that same day.
What?
A customer, Carter was the name he gave, mentioned a cottage on the bay. Well, that's east. The girl's body was found northwest of here. I think she was dumped from a car coming toward Boston from out there. So I think the cottage is in that direction.
Deduction yet?
Well, if I were going to dump a body, I wouldn't carry it through town to take it to that bridge, would you?
I'm being paid to think about another case. I couldn't sell the murder pitch upstairs, but I tried, and I'll buck for promotion if you're right and upstairs is wrong.
I don't suppose you could earn that promotion by assigning some men to cover that northwest section, huh?
Not a chance. That's county. Division of responsibility.
Yeah, and we'd all be surprised to know how many criminals take advantage of that. Expense account item 5, $35 mileage. Covering a 2.5-day canvass of real estate offices northwest of town. Object, a cottage probably rented prior to the month of June by a man possibly using the name J.E. Carter. It was a vague lead that meant morning to night legwork, but on the third afternoon it paid off.
We don't rent much up here is why I remember. Now, she was a dark-haired girl, is that right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm. The Anson place out on Birch Road.
Has anybody been there in the past few days?
Not that I know about. They used to be there every 2 or 3 days, too.
How was the rent paid, cash or check?
By, a cashier's check.
Or was it regular, a definite day of the month, I mean? And do you know the bank?
Yes, I do. Between the 1st and 5th of each month since May, a check on the commercial bank.
Thanks. Now, I'd like to ask one more favor. Would you take me out to the cottage?
I certainly will. It's a police affair. I'm not the one to stand in the way. I've always said that I personally vouch for the people I do business with. You never know, do you?
That's a profound truth in any business.
I'll certainly try to be more careful in the future. You want to go now?
I think I've seen enough. Here, let me lock it. I want to see if this key fits.
Huh? It did fit.
Yeah, it did. Hello, Mr. Hollis. May I come in?
Well, yes, of course. Well, I didn't expect to see you again.
Didn't you, Mr. Hollis? You thought you'd get away with it?
What did you say?
No, there's no reason to be clever with each other. I know you killed her. You rented a cottage out beyond Mystic River. You used the name J.E. Carter.
Come into the other room. Yes, you're right.
I did become infatuated with her. If you'd known her, you'd understand. I realized last week that it had to stop, and I told her. She's been with that young Corey boy. I told her even if I was single and eligible to marry her, I would advise her to hang on to him. Someone her own age.
That was last Tuesday night.
Yes. She left the cottage, and I heard her drive off. Or at least I thought I did. When I went out, I learned what she had really done. She committed suicide in the car. You could hardly blame me for wanting to keep the secret.
It wasn't suicide, Mr. Hollis. You know it, and I know it.
All right, Mr. Dollar. I'll make my statement to the police.
Fine. I'll drive you down.
Thank you.
Edward.
Beatrice, go back upstairs.
No, Edward. I won't.
I insist, Beatrice.
What good would it do? After what I've done because I lost you. Why should you ask me to go upstairs while I lose you again?
I forbid you to say another word.
She had taken him away from me because she was beautiful. And I no longer am. I was waiting in their cottage, Mr. Dollar. And when they came in, I struck her.
Is that the truth, Mrs. Hollis?
I killed her. And since there was nothing left of our lives, we carried her to the car.
What have I done? What have I done?
Expense account item 6, $110. Final bill for car rental. Item 7, $85, miscellaneous. Expense account total, $265.85. Remarks. I don't know what sticklers the Massachusetts courts of law are, but Jean Maxwell was not killed by the wronged wife. She was unconscious but alive when Hollis put her into the car trunk. She died there by carbon monoxide. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
You've been listening to Suspense and Private Investigator Johnny Dollar. Join us again tomorrow night at the same time as FEN presents 55 Minutes of Comedy with My Favorite Husband and the Adventures of the Great Gildersleeve. That's tomorrow night at 9:05 on the Far East Network.
From Hollywood, it's time now for Bob Bailey as
Johnny Dollar.
Mr. Dollar, this is Father Taggart. I'm calling you from Ossining. I'm one of the chaplains here at Sing Sing.
Oh, yes, sir. What can I do for you, Father?
Well, nothing for me, Mr. Dollar, but possibly for someone else. Michael Cairn, one of our inmates, asked me to contact you.
Michael Cairn?
Mm-hmm. You remember him? He wasn't sure you would.
Old-time grifter and con man who got tied up with an insurance fraud a few years ago, blonde fella?
Yes. Well, Michael wants to see you, Mr. Dollar. Could you possibly find the time to come up here?
Oh, I don't know, Father. Is this something important?
It is to Michael.
Oh, well, look, I'll be in New York sometime next month. Maybe I'll get a chance to stop off.
Well, couldn't you possibly make it sooner?
What's the rush? He's going to be there quite a while, isn't he?
Not very long, I'm afraid. Michael is dying.
All right, Father, you can expect me.
Welcome to Johnny Dollar. Beginning tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Allied Casualty and Insurance Company Limited, Markham Building, Hartford, Connecticut. Attention, Ed Barth, Controller's Office. This is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the McCormick matter. Though you didn't authorize the investigation, Ed, I'm sure that once the facts are out, you will honor the following. Expense account, item 1, $7.95. Train fare and incidentals, Hartford to Ossining, New York. I was admitted inside the prison and greeted by Father Taggart. He's a tall, mild-looking man, a Jesuit, I believe. He had a pass all ready for me, and he led me straight to the prison infirmary.
Just in here. Michael will certainly appreciate your coming, Mr. Dollar.
I hope it satisfies whatever's on his mind. I can't imagine what it would be. You know, it was my investigation and testimony that put him in here, Father.
He told me all about that, and I'm sure it has nothing to do with why he wants to see you. See, his lungs started to go about 2 years ago, and there's just been no way to arrest the condition.
Does he know how close he is?
Oh, he is. And he's not afraid to die. Here we are, Mr. Dollar.
Oh.
What?
Hardly the same man I remember, Father.
He's had it bad lately. Lost a great deal of weight.
Yeah. Asleep?
Yes. Michael. Michael.
Oh. Hi, Father.
I brought someone to see you.
What do you say?
Hiya, Mike.
Oh, thanks for coming. Thanks, Johnny.
Thank Father Taggart here.
He's an all right guy, Johnny. He's just like you. I always said you were the best insurance cop.
Here, what's all this?
I'm kicking out, Johnny. Didn't you tell him, Father?
He told me, Mike.
Guess I didn't live right.
I'll be back in a little while.
Thanks, Father.
You take it easy, Mike.
A lousy place to die, prison. But I ain't got my choice, thanks to you.
Well, it's just that you picked to do a couple of things that the law and some insurance companies didn't agree with, Mike.
I don't hold none of that against you. The guy does what he does. I don't know how to tell you this.
Maybe I better get the doctor. You shouldn't be talking so much.
No, wait. Johnny, look, you know I'm no crybaby. When the doctor gave me the news, I got to thinking. I ain't scared to blow out, you understand?
I know, Mike, I know.
It's just that I had a wife once, a long time ago when I started out.
Oh?
Yeah, then I just kind of drifted out of her picture one day. Ain't got a cough drop, baby. Yeah, I guess it wouldn't cure what I got. Anyhow, I got to do something for her before I... Well, Johnny, I lay here and I get myself an idea.
Yeah, Mike?
Johnny, if there was some real easy money lying around, would you pick it up for me?
Depends on how clean it is, Mike, and where it's lying.
Yeah, sure. Well, it's clean, all right. You can find that out for yourself.
All right.
Now listen. Till they moved me down here in the infirmary, I roomed upstairs with Jojo Penny. You know him?
No, don't believe I do.
And a car thief from the Hay States. He got his sabbatical 3 weeks ago. Paroled.
Uh-huh.
Well, I've been in the camp with a lot of guys, but Jojo Penny takes the cake. He's got a little old 5-year trick to put in. This Jojo, he does it like a vacation. You know, a real picnic. Every time he gets a chance out in the yard, he's taking sun. So he don't get the color, see?
Yeah.
When they push him in with me, I notice this. And I get to going over it in my head. Yeah. Why does a guy whistle in a cell block, Johnny? Why is he treating it like a rest home?
Short term. He's got something outside waiting.
That's it, baby. He's got something waiting for him outside. Something that he knows will keep safe. Money.
Thought you said this was legitimate, Mike.
It is. Now, wait. I didn't ask Jojo anything about this. No, I figured it out myself. Then a couple of times I hear him yelling in his sleep. McCormick, he yells. McCormick. Huh? Makes sense now, Johnny?
Not yet.
The big heist, Johnny, the big heist. A few years ago, a rich guy named McCormick out on Long Island or someplace like that gets turned over for $100,000 worth of jewelry. You remember?
Vaguely.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking that Jojo Penny was in on it somewhere. Else why would he be singing and whistling and chinning himself around this flytrap for 5 years? Else why would he be talking about that when he's sleeping? McCormick.
Yeah. Maybe you've got something, Mike.
I know I got something, Johnny. And you got something, too.
Oh, no, Mike, take it easy.
Oh, I'm all right. Don't you see? The insurance company must have a reward out. They always do. A reward.
Yeah, but Mike, look.
I tell you, Jojo is the ginzo that done the job. Or he knows who did it. So, you look into it. Work on it. Maybe turn up the stuff and get the reward. Good clean coin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Send half of it to my old lady, will you? You keep the rest yourself. What do you say? Huh? Will you?
Ego facultati mihi ad apostolia, sedi tributa indulgentiam plenariam.
Mike Kern died 3 hours later. The last living thing he did was wink at me. Expense account item 2, $14.20. Train fare and incidentals, Ossining to New York. I arrived at 2:15, dropped my bag off at the New Weston, and went over to the Metropolitan Police Station to find out what I could about the McCormick matter. It was all pretty much as old Mike had told me. A Julian McCormick, living on Long Island, had suffered a $100,000 jewelry burglary in 1951. 12 suspects had been arrested and released. The case was marked open and unsolved. Allied Casualty had been the insurance company involved.
This is the adjustment office. Frank Porter speaking.
My name's Johnny Dollar, Mr. Porter. I'm an investigator.
Oh, I think I've heard of you, Mr. Dollar. Yeah?
Wonder if you could give me a little information about a claim your company handled in 1951. A man named Julian McCormick out on Long Island.
Gee whiz, a long time ago. What about the McCormick claim?
I might have some information on it. I don't know yet. It's a long chance. I'm at police headquarters, and I notice you investigated for the insurance company. I'd like to talk to you.
Yeah, sure, but it's kind of late today. Tomorrow, okay?
Well, you can tell me this right now. Is there any reward being offered?
Gee whiz, kind of folds my sails.
How's that?
Well, asking about a reward. You sound like you can make full recovery and want to make sure that you'll be paid for it.
Well, I said it was just a long shot. How about the reward?
Well, that's pretty standard with us on cases like this. Yeah, I think it's $7,500, something like that. I'm not sure. Where are you staying?
New Weston.
Well, I'll look it up, get the exact figure, and call you there. How'll that be?
Fine, thanks. That'll be fine. Before I left the police station, I turned out a mug on Jojo Penny. He was a big, broad-shouldered lad with plenty of beef, and a list of petty convictions, 4 of them in New York State. The last one was for carrying concealed weapons. His parole status was good, though, and the parole officer furnished me with his home address. The Allen Hotel, rates day, week, a month, 115th Street.
It's open. Come on in. Hiya.
Looking for Joe Penny.
Yes, sir. That's me.
My name's Johnny Dollar.
Yeah?
I just came down from Ossining. I saw a friend of yours up there, Joe.
Who was that?
Mike Cairn.
How's Mike?
Not so good. He died today.
It's too bad. He was a nice old coot. Kind of liked him.
Said if I ever saw you to say hello.
Uh-huh. He didn't give you my address.
No, I got it from the parole office.
You some kind of cop?
No, I work for an insurance company.
Oh.
Buy you a drink?
Sure. Why not?
Expense account item 3, $4 even for drinks. I wanted to look at Jojo Penny and talk to him and figure out how I was going to go about getting information from him. And the more I saw and the more he talked, the more I wondered if whatever he might have said about the McCormick case in his sleep happened to some other McCormick. After all, a man with a long list of petty thieveries is hardly ever involved in a slick, big-time safe-cracking job. That takes another kind of talent, and one I was sure that Jojo didn't have.
So I just been taking it easy and looking around. I figure I can get a job pushing a truck or maybe a cab if I'm lucky. Got to get something to do. Parole officers kind of hard-nosed about things like that.
Yeah. Drink up. Want one more?
Oh, no thanks. 3's my limit. Like to keep in shape.
Sure. Say, you got anything to do?
Nothing special. Why?
Thought I might go out to Long Island later on tonight to say hello to an old friend of mine. If you haven't got anything to do, come on along.
You're okay, Bub. Sure, why not? This friend of yours, he's an ex-con, too?
No, he never did any time. Just a friend. Want to say hello is all.
Oh.
Rich fella. His name's Julian McCormick.
You're very big with the hellos around here today, aren't you?
Anything wrong, Joe?
You probably are.
Why do you say that?
Nothing.
Ever know anyone named McCormick?
I knew a guy named Arnie McCormick once back in Salt Lake City. We were pals for a while.
Oh.
Yeah. Arnie was killed in the war. He'd got himself drafted in the infantry.
Maybe he's related to my friend Julian McCormick out on Long Island.
He wasn't related to anybody, not that bird. I'm leaving. I want to get up early tomorrow.
Why not come with me?
Thanks for the drinks.
He drifted off down the street and left me standing there. And one thing I was sure of, he had the name McCormick on his mind. Whether it was the right McCormick or the right case, I didn't know. Anyhow, he was my one big lead. So I was back at his hotel early the next morning and talking to the desk clerk.
Penny, did you say room 210?
Yeah, that's right.
Vamoose.
What?
He left bag and baggage last night.
Well, where did he go? What's his forwarding address?
He didn't say. Just left.
Now, here's our star, Bob Bailey, to tell you about tomorrow's episode.
Thanks. Tomorrow, there's living proof that a pretty girl can be just as dangerous as a pretty girl. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by John Dawson, the entire production is under the direction of Jack Johnstone. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, same time and station, for the next exciting episode of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking. From Hollywood, it's time now for Bob Bailey as...
Johnny Dollar.
This is Duels Martin.
Lieutenant Martin?
Yeah, that's right. I got a message you called while I was out and left this number.
Yeah. I want to talk to you about the McCormick case, Lieutenant.
McCormick?
$100,000 burglary out on Long Island back in 1951.
I was the officer in charge. Who are you?
Insurance investigator. I got a tip that an ex-convict named Joe Panny might have pulled it. I'm at Panny's hotel.
Well, let me know how you make out.
Say, listen, his room's been torn apart. Every inch of it's been searched. And when I came here tonight, I got socked by a woman with a gun.
Give me that address.
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Allied Casualty and Insurance Company Limited, Markham Building, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the McCormick matter. Expense account, item 7, $2, 2 drinks. For myself and Lieutenant Duels Martin, NYPD. A big swarthy man who seemed to know what he was about. Martin looked over the damage done by the unknown ransacker of Joe Panny's room, questioned the clerk, who was unable to furnish any helpful information. Then, because Joe Panny was officially a parole violator, ordered a general pickup.
We should be able to get our hands on him pretty soon, Dollar.
I hope it's that easy, Lieutenant.
Any reason why it shouldn't be fairly routine?
No, just a feeling, I guess. I don't know.
This whole matter has been flimsy. The tip was weak, but it seems to be paying off. Nothing fits, though.
I don't quite get all this, Dollar. How'd you come in on this?
Old Mike Cairn died up at Sing Sing 2 days ago. Before he went, he told me he believed Joe Panny might have pulled the McCormick burglary. It didn't seem likely then, Panny being a small-time auto thief and whatnot. But now it does, in view of what's been happening lately.
Somebody sure wants something Panny might have, judging from that room.
I never saw one taken apart better. An expert search job.
Yeah.
Hey, Lieutenant, when you picked Joe Panny up, I'd like to be in on it. He's my only lead in this case, and I want to talk to him again.
And that's not asking too much. Now, Dollar, about this woman you saw.
Pretty, about 30, dark hair, good dresser, wore a silver mink stole. The gun she socked me with was a little one, a 25 or maybe 32 automatic.
Mm-hmm. You think she might have done the searching in Joe's room?
What do you think? She was flustered and upset when I bumped into her, anxious to get away from the place. And, of course, the gun in her hand.
Yeah.
She sound familiar to you in this neighborhood?
No. Could be anybody.
Yeah. Well, that's about it, Lieutenant.
Yeah?
No, I got it.
Oh, thanks. I suppose you talked to McCormick, got the full story of the burglary from him?
Almost first thing, yeah.
Well, I remember him when it first happened. Nice enough, but strange, I thought. This business about somebody phoning the parole office ahead of you to get Joe Panny's address, that stops me, though.
That's hard to figure.
You sure you're telling me everything?
Sure, I'm sure.
That part sounds crazy.
Not if somebody knew I was looking for him, wanted to get him first.
But who?
How should I know?
Well, we'll see what we will see. Can I drop you anywhere?
No, thanks. I'll walk. You let me know when you pick him up.
Sure.
2 days passed, and I didn't hear from Lieutenant Martin. I finally phoned in, and a supplementary had turned up, no leads. Martin had men watching Joe's hotel. His former friends and acquaintances were being checked. Meanwhile, I decided to try and find out who the dark woman in the first stole had been. It seemed pretty obvious that she had just come from Joe's room, that she knew him or was connected with him in some way. So once more, I combed over Joe Panny's file at headquarters, this time looking for a woman's name. The only one mentioned was an ex-wife who had divorced him 6 years before. Her name was Iris Carter. At the Bureau of Vital Statistics, the marriage certificate and record of divorce proceedings gave me a composite picture of an unhappy and turbulent 3-year marriage. It also gave me a general description of Iris Carter that could very well fit the woman I'd seen briefly in the hallway outside Joe Panny's hotel room. There was a 6-year-old address to start on.
Eunice? Is that you, Eunice? I said, is that you, Eunice?
No, ma'am, I'm not Eunice.
Oh, no, you sure ain't. You seen her?
I don't know. I really don't know her.
Oh. Well, what do you want?
I'd like to talk to the manager. I want some information.
What's your name?
Johnny Dollar.
What kind of information are you looking for?
Are you the manager?
Yes, sir, I am.
Well, I'm trying to locate a woman named Iris Carter. She might have used the name Iris Panny. She was married once to a man named Joe Panny. Lived here about 6 years ago. Were you here then?
I was.
Did you know her?
I did.
Did you know him?
Yeah. He went to jail.
Does she live here now?
She don't.
Do you have any idea where I can find her?
I don't.
Well, do you happen to know if she ever
Why
worked
do you want
or...
her?
Just to talk to her. When did she move out?
Oh, long time ago. 5 years, maybe.
Uh-huh.
What's your business?
Insurance?
Oh.
Well, what's up?
Oh, nobody around here buys insurance.
Well, we don't have to go into that. If you can think of any place I might get a line on her, I'd appreciate it.
And it seems to me she worked at a bookstore down the street.
Down what street?
Out there. Block or two down that way. I think she worked there. I don't know. You can try.
Thank you, I will.
My, you polite. You tip your hat.
Say, tell me, do you remember what she looked like?
Sort of. Yeah.
Well?
Oh, about as tall as I am. Nice. Pretty girl.
Blonde or brunette?
Dark hair. Almost black.
Know any of her friends when she lived here?
No. No, I couldn't tell you that. Why?
Oh, I might look up one of them and ask her about her, that's all.
Yeah, you ask at that bookstore. I think she worked there.
The bookstore Iris Carter Panny had worked in was as dismal as the neighborhood. The proprietor, a Mrs. Oles, yielded a little more helpful information than Iris Carter's former landlady. Yes, Iris had worked there for about 6 months. She'd quit almost 5 years before. No, she didn't know where to find her. Expense account, item 8, $1.02 lunch. I had it in a neighborhood diner called the Showboat, a place where Mrs. Oles said Iris Carter had frequently eaten. The restaurant manager remembered Iris vaguely. She also remembered Iris's boyfriend. I asked for a description. She did better than that. She gave me his name, occupation, and address. An old rehearsal hall 2 blocks away. The 5-man combo working there was really putting it up. Yeah. And the minute I saw him, I knew the boy wearing the trumpet was the one I was looking for. Just good-looking and smooth enough to go with a girl Iris Carter sounded like. Smooth trumpet, too.
Okay, guys. Take 5.
I'm looking for Jack Lang.
You found him.
I'm Johnny Dollar. Could we talk a minute?
That's about all I got, Mr. Dollar. Want to smoke?
No, thanks.
Oh, man. Gets real tired out about this time of day.
Yeah, imagine it does. The way you put it out.
Well, everybody to his own racket. What's yours?
Insurance investigator.
Okay. Now what?
Well, I've been asking around the neighborhood, and they tell me you once knew a girl named Iris Carter, or Iris Panny.
Iris Carter. Go on.
I'd like to find her and talk to her, and I thought you might be able to help me.
Go on.
I want to talk to her ex-husband most of all. I thought somehow she might know where to find him these days.
He's in the can.
He was released 3 weeks ago.
No?
Any ideas?
No.
I thought finding her might be a shortcut to him.
I wouldn't think so. They were all washed up when I knew her.
When was that?
5 years ago. She hadn't seen him for over a year then.
Uh-huh.
She didn't have much use for him. I don't blame her.
How long did you know her?
No. We went together for a while she worked at some crummy bookstore. Then she moved away, and I didn't see her after that. I think she said something about going back to Ohio.
You think?
I don't remember offhand.
Well, let me put it this way. As far as I know, she's in no trouble. The one we want is her ex-husband. You'd be helping a lot if you could tell me where to find her.
I don't know. I honestly don't know, and I sure wish I did. I'd like to find her myself.
Why?
Well, when she went with me, wasn't any good. I think she just walked out because she was tired of losers. Sick up to here, you know what I mean? Can't blame her. He gave her a pretty bad time. I didn't do much better. But now I got something. It's this little 5-piece outfit. Not much, but something. I'd like to show it to her and say, Iris, this is mine.
You kind of had it bad, huh?
Bad as a guy like me can get it. I know I'll probably never see her again as long as I live, but... boy, if another one like her ever shows up, I'm gonna be ready, Dad. Ever see her?
No, she must have been something.
Here. Take a look. Nice, huh?
Yeah. I take it back.
What back?
About seeing her. I've seen her.
When? Where?
2 nights ago in the hallway outside Joe Panny's room.
You sure?
I'm sure. She hit me with a gun before she left. The picture he had flipped out of his wallet was old and well thumbed. It showed a sultry kind of face that could have been 20 or 30 or 40. A wide, frank, smiling, happy mouth. Not the kind of girl I would imagine could ever be married to a Joe Panny. But there was no doubt about it. She had been married to him, and I had seen her. On my way back to the hotel, I dropped in to check with Lieutenant Martin.
Hi.
Hi. Doing any good? Any lead on Joe Panny?
Nothing so far. This may take longer than I thought at first.
Well, I've been out looking for his ex-wife. I didn't find her, but I found a few people who knew her. She was the one at his hotel the other night. Name's Iris Carter.
You sure?
Positive. I saw her picture.
We better try to pick her up, too. I'll put it out right away.
Fine. Well, I'll keep in touch.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't go.
Huh?
We had some action here today. Sit down.
Thanks.
Julian McCormick called up, reported you. He said you came out there bothering him a couple days ago. He said he doesn't want to be bothered.
Well, I only talked to him to get his story on the burglary.
And I told him as long as you didn't break the law, there was nothing we could do to stop you from investigating. But he didn't like it.
He seemed perfectly willing to cooperate with me when I talked to him before.
Yeah, well, sometime these rich... Excuse me. Martin here. That's right. Well, how long ago? Okay. Well, they found your boy, Joe Penny.
What?
Yeah. He's on his way to the morgue. Harbor Patrol picked up his body a couple of hours ago, loaded down with slugs.
Some case.
And that ain't all, Johnny.
Huh?
His feet were burnt.
Now, here's our star, Bob Bailey, to tell you about tomorrow's episode.
Thanks. Tomorrow, a phase of this case that ought to be called the Talking Corpse. For believe me, this one said plenty. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by John Dawson, the entire production is under the direction of Jack Johnstone. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, same time and station, for the next exciting episode of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking. From Hollywood, it's time now for Bob Bailey as...
Johnny Dollar.
It's Frank Porter, Allied Casualty.
Yes, Mr. Porter.
Oh, call me Frank, Johnny. You phoned yesterday about the McCormick matter. I got all the stuff about the case on my desk here, and we're still offering $7,500 reward.
Thanks for confirming it, Frank.
Sure. You got a tip or something?
An old con named Mike Cairn gave me a tip about a guy named Jojo Penny. I'm working on it.
Need any help?
No, not yet. I might. Jojo pulled out of his hotel last night, bagging baggage.
Oh, what are you going to do?
I'm on my way to Long Island.
Huh?
I want to talk to McCormick himself.
Oh. Johnny.
Yeah?
Let me give you a tip for your own good. Don't bother Julian McCormick unless you've really got something. Could be dangerous.
I think I've got something.
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Allied Casualty and Insurance Company Limited, Markham Building, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the McCormick matter. Item 4, $10 deposit on the car I rented to drive out to Julian McCormick's home on Long Island. And judging by the looks of the place, a safe full of $100,000 worth of jewelry would feel right at home. It was a mansion, and the rugs on the floor were an inch thick.
I'm sorry I've kept you waiting. Mrs. McCormick and I were packing for a little trip to Europe. Sit down, please.
Thanks. Going to be gone long?
Oh, we usually spend several months a year over there. We're a bit late this year. Our reservations are for next week.
I envy you, Mr. McCormick.
Dollar, the name?
That's right.
Forgive me, but I don't seem to recall having heard of you before.
Oh, that's okay. We never met. I'm an insurance investigator.
Oh, really? Am I being investigated or something?
No, nothing like that. It's just that I might have a lead on that jewelry that was taken from your home a few years ago.
Well, that's wonderful. You must tell me about it. Can I make you a drink?
No, thanks.
You're from the insurance company. Allied Casualty?
No, I'm not. I'm an independent investigator.
Well, why should anyone feel it necessary to call in a... Oh, I see. There's a reward, of course.
That's right.
Yes, of course. But now, tell me, how can I help you?
Well, I'm just checking a few things, Mr. McCormick. I haven't even gone over it with the man who handled the case for Allied. Possibly I have run into something that'll help. I don't know. I'd like you to tell me what happened.
My safe was opened and my jewelry taken.
I mean, how it happened.
Well, it was right in this very room. That's the wall safe there.
Uh-huh.
Mrs. McCormick and I had just returned from our honeymoon. 5 years ago it was.
Yeah?
All I know is that when I stepped into the library here that morning, the safe was open and everything was gone. Whoever did it was extremely clever and quiet, I must say.
Was the safe cracked?
No. It was just opened. Someone figured the combination or something like that.
Well, who knew the combination at the time?
Only myself, Mr. Dollar.
You're sure of that?
Why, of course.
I see.
I reported it to the police right away here on Long Island. Then some men from New York City were here, too.
And your insurance company?
I reported it to my insurance company immediately. They had a man on the scene as soon as the police, Mr. Porter.
Frank Porter?
Yes. Do you know him?
I've talked to him on the phone. I haven't met him.
A very nice chap. He worked very hard trying to recover it.
I'm sure he did. Did they have an adjuster?
Yes.
How much did you collect, if you don't mind?
Not much.
What do you mean?
Well, it was unfortunate. By keeping that much jewelry in a small house safe, it seems I violated a clause in the contract. It should have been kept in a safety deposit box or some such. Consequently, the matter went into litigation. I'm afraid the court found me at fault. I collected only a part of the insured value, $20,000. So, you can see I'd certainly welcome a recovery.
Sure.
The jewelry was in the family a good many years. I had given it to my wife, and well, a man hates to lose things he loves.
Yes, I understand. Was Mrs. McCormick here the morning it happened?
Oh, yeah?
I'd like to talk to her.
She's terribly busy, but if you think it's sufficiently important, I'll call her.
No, never mind.
I'm curious, Mr. Dollar. This case has been closed a long time. At least, no one's contacted me or asked me for any information about it for at least 4 years. What opened it?
A man named Mike Cairn.
Huh? Who's he?
An old convict up at Ossining who shared a cell for a while with a man named Joe Panny.
Uh-huh.
Cairn died yesterday, but before he died, he told me he thought Panny had something to do with it. He'd heard him mention your name.
Well, it seems to me you should talk with this Joe Panny.
I did, and I will some more. As soon as I locate him again. Right now, he's missing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, thanks for the time, Mr. McCormick.
You let me know if you learn anything?
Sure.
Do you honestly think you can recover that jewelry?
With any luck at all.
That would be wonderful, wonderful.
You think so?
Why, yes, of course.
Mrs. McCormick might be glad to know about it, too.
What?
You said it was her jewelry. I don't know why I said that to him, just a sudden impulse. But he wasn't smiling when he walked me to the door, shook my hand, and patted me on the shoulder. I had a funny feeling that Mr. Julian McCormick was scared like a rabbit of me. I drove back to the city, had lunch at Walgreens, and dropped into Allied Casualty's New York office to pick up the folder on reward information. I met Frank Porter and liked him right away, a big, red-headed man in a tweed suit.
Gee whiz, Johnny, it makes me feel older than ever doing this.
How come?
Well, I weighed 15 pounds less when this case started, June 1951. Here we are. These are pictures of the stuff.
Uh-huh.
Now, that one they call Tierra del Fuego. Some necklace,
I can see why.
Yeah, and this one was called Imperial, in the royal family of Russia at one time. And this is the other one, Placid.
Beautiful stuff.
Oh, you can say that again.
That all of it?
Well, that's about the size of it, Johnny. $100,000 gone.
Yeah.
Help any?
Sure. It's nice to know what I'm trying to find.
Well, I hope you have better luck than I did.
Yeah. Say, who was the police officer on the case?
Martin. Dools Martin.
Out of Central?
Yeah. We ran down every lead we could find, big and small.
The file said you made 12 arrests.
Yeah, something like that, but not one of them panned out. Had to let them all go. Martin requested pickups on every big-time jewelry man in the country. Now, I don't think one of them was overlooked.
Well...
No, Johnny, somebody just simply walked in that house, opened the safe as neat as you please, and walked right out with all of this. Very slick job. Had to be an experienced man.
Well, it might have been a first job for someone just starting in. He got lucky.
Yeah, we thought of that, and we didn't think much of it after a while.
Frank, you...
Gee whiz, Johnny, nobody could be that lucky. Case the house, know exactly where the safe was, know what was in it, get in, open it up, and get out without anybody, servants, the McCormicks, or any of their friends even seeing.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Well, that wasn't even the hardest part, you see. Not one scrap of this stuff has ever turned up anywhere.
Yeah, well...
Anywhere. Now, what did whoever took it do with it? Did he break it down, sell it overseas? What? Not a trace of it. Imagine that.
Imagine.
You know what I think? I think the guy who swiped all this stuff still has it. I think he's sitting around waiting for it to cool off.
Could be.
But it's never going to cool off, Johnny. There isn't a city in this country or across the ocean that isn't on the lookout for these pieces.
I suppose...
Now, sooner or later, Hot Boy or Lucky Boy, well, whoever he is, will make a move. Meantime, we just wait. Unless, of course, you've got something for us to look into.
Not yet, Frank.
Yeah, well, when you have, we'll be right with you all the way.
Good, good.
How about a drink?
Take a rain check.
Okay. But remember, we got a whole floor full of lawyers upstairs. They can get up warrants, writs, seizure orders, anything you might want.
Yeah.
You just let me know when you get somewhere, and we'll go to work.
I'll do that, Frank. I left Frank Porter and went back over to the parole office to see what had developed with Joe Panny. After all, if he didn't report in, he'd be in violation of his parole, be in real trouble. But nothing had developed. He hadn't put in a change of address, nothing. So I went back to my hotel and had some dinner. Then I shaved, changed my clothes. Expense account, item 5, $1.50 cab fare. I garaged my rented car, went back to Central Police Station, and pulled out the mug on Joe Panny once more, hoping to get a line on some friends or relatives of his where he might be staying. Up till then, things had been going pretty routine. Then a clerk from the parole offices stepped across the hall.
Hi, Mr. Dollar.
Hi.
Thought it was you I saw in here. I wasn't sure. How's it going?
Fine, fine.
Talked to your friend Jojo Panny yet?
Not today. Why?
Well, you seemed awful anxious to talk to him, is all.
I am.
Why don't you go see him?
You playing games? I've been trying to find out where he is all day.
And I already told you.
You what?
Sure, I gave it to you half an hour ago when you phoned.
When who phoned?
Sure, about half an hour ago. Look, Joe Panny called in and told me his address.
Yeah?
I no sooner set down a phone and you called in and said, "This is Johnny Dollar. Have you heard from Joe Panny?"
What?
I said, "Yeah," and I told you his address, that's all.
What address did you say?
The Allen Hotel on 115th Street, same place he was before. What's the matter, you forget?
It took me 10 minutes to get from the police station over to the Allen Hotel. 10 minutes of wondering who'd put in that call and used my name. I went up the stairs, 2 at a time, up to the second floor. And right at the top of the landing, I bumped into a dark-haired woman wearing a silver fur piece.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you.
It's all right. You hurt?
No, not at all. Please, let me go past. I'm in a hurry.
Yeah, I'd be in a hurry, too.
What do you mean?
The gun.
What?
You should carry it on the inside of your purse.
Oh, I didn't...
Suppose I take it.
No, let go of me.
Fingernails, huh? Give it to me.
All right, take it.
She'd given it to me, all right on the side of the head. It didn't knock me out, but it did knock me off balance, so I tangled up with the hall table. And that gave her plenty of time to scurry down the stairs while I got out of the furniture and back on my feet. By the time I got down the stairs and out on the street, she was nowhere in sight. No one yelled, "I'm shot." No one did anything but what they were already doing.
Hi.
Where were you just now? You weren't here at the front desk?
I was out back eating my dinner. Why?
Oh, nothing. You happen to see that woman who just ran through here?
No.
Tall, dark-haired woman, about 30, wore a mixed stole?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, you're kidding in this joint.
Oh, brother.
You still looking for Joe Panny?
He lives here again, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Have you seen him? Where is he?
Out.
I sat down with myself and waited. A half an hour later, when the clerk went back to finish his dinner, I stepped over to the desk and borrowed his passkey and went back up the stairs to room 210. Well, I didn't need the passkey, and I didn't need to doubt the clerk. Joe Panny wasn't there. But all of his things were. The curtains were drawn and the windows closed. Every drawer had been pulled out of every dresser. The mattress on the bed was slit from top to bottom, and the rug had been ripped and turned over. Expense account, item 6, $1, one drink. For me. I left Jojo's room, went to the nearest bar, sat down, and had a drink. A scared victim, a missing con, a dark-haired woman wearing a mink and a gun, and other things. Right then and there, I decided that Mike Cairns' tip had been pretty good at that.
Now, here's our star, Bob Bailey, to tell you about tomorrow's episode.
Thanks. Tomorrow, a slight case of mayhem. When the right guy turns up in the wrong place. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by John Dawson, the entire production is under the direction of Jack Johnstone. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, same time and station, for the next exciting episode of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking. From Hollywood, it's time now for Bob Bailey as
Johnny Dollar.
Frank Porter at Allied Casualty. How's it going, kid?
I don't know.
You ever find Joe Penny?
The Harbor Patrol found him floating around the harbor. He'd been shot and his feet were burnt.
Gee whiz, torture. Well, what can I do to help?
Find a girl who was once married to him?
Joe Penny had a wife?
Yeah, she wears a mink stole these days and carries a gun. She's tied up with it somewhere. Her name's Iris Carter.
Iris Carter. You've met her?
Just long enough to get slugged with her gun.
Well, wait a minute. I'd like to get it all straight. Can I come over?
I'll be here.
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of a man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar. To the Allied Casualty and Insurance Company Limited, Markham Building, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the McCormick matter. Expense account, item 9, $14 even, secretarial services. I dictated a detailed report of the $100,000 McCormick case. I did it for two reasons. One, to make certain that Allied and the New York police were thoroughly informed of my part in the matter. And two, to review the case for my own benefit. One of the key figures, Joe Penny, was a murder victim. Attached is a copy of that report. I tried to cover as closely as possible my conversation with Mike Cairn at Sing Sing when he tipped me off that Joe Penny had something to do with the McCormick burglary of 5 years ago. Also, one conversation with Joe Penny, his subsequent disappearance, and murder. I had a copy for Frank Porter when he showed up at my room. He read it from top to bottom.
Gee whiz, Johnny, if this isn't something. You come here for Joe Penny, it looks like he did the McCormick job, now he's dead. You're stopped. What can you do?
Find his wife, maybe?
You're doing this at your own expense, aren't you?
Oh, I think your company will pay for it in time.
You have to recover the stuff.
I know.
You think you will?
I think so, yeah.
Well, your key man's dead. You'll have to start all over again.
Maybe not. I don't really know whether Joe Penny was my key man or not. I still can't see a small-time auto thief working a big, slick safe burglary.
Every indication is that he was the one.
I know. I'd like to find that girl, Iris Carter, and talk to her about it. She's connected with it.
No, from what you say on the paper, yeah, very much. Oh, gee whiz, I feel like a fifth wheel. I'm not helping you a bit. You know, I handled this case for the company when it first broke. I worked with Lieutenant Martin for 6 months on it, and we didn't turn up a thing. You're on it 3 or 4 days, and you have all kinds of action.
Well, I must have stepped in at the right time.
Yeah. Johnny,
Mm-hmm.
somebody gunned Joe Panny down. Now, I know you like to work alone and do things your own way, but be careful if you stay on this. I get worried when somebody starts shooting.
Oh, sure. I didn't get that, though.
What?
If I keep on this, I wouldn't let it go now if my life depended on it. I'm going to find that woman, and I'm going to find the stuff.
Sure. Well, gee whiz. Don't let anything happen to you.
I won't. I talked some more with Frank Porter about the case. He repeated his offer in the name of Allied Casualty to help if he could. I told him I'd take it up on it if anything came up at all. He left. I was at Central Police Station 10 minutes later. And 5 minutes after that, Lieutenant Dools Martin was calling for the medical examiner's report on Joe Panny's death. A uniformed man brought it in. Martin shoved it across the desk at me.
The ME says Joe Panny's been dead about 48 hours or longer. 225 slugs right through the chest, penetrated both lungs, one through the neck. It's very neat shooting at that range.
What range?
Oh, at least 20 feet, maybe longer. Not many people shoot 25s that well. It's a little gun.
A woman's gun?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Now, let's talk about that woman you saw around there that night. Now, you say it was Panny's ex.
Yeah. Iris Carter. I don't know whether her gun was a 25 or 32.
Well, think about it.
I have.
Now, look, don't get sore with me. It's just that she looks like better than ever for opening this case up. I put her on all points.
Sorry I got riled.
That's all right. Now, the ME thinks that Panny was killed before he was dumped in the water, possibly ambushed by someone he didn't know or didn't trust.
If he's right about the range, that'd fit in. Someone who knew him would do it close up.
Yeah.
Hey, wait. You said his feet were burnt.
Yeah, I got the pictures here to prove it. Yeah, take a look. And these are the glossies.
Uh-huh.
Now, these are the burns here, Dollar. Right here. Here and here.
Yeah. Then he wasn't ambushed exactly.
Look, I don't know what he was. But this is the crazy part. He was already dead when this happened.
No rope marks on his legs or wrists. You don't sit still for burning, no matter how tough you are.
It's fascinating, huh? Someone shot him down, then tried to make it look like he was tortured for information first.
Cover up. He's supposed to look like he knew something or had something. And maybe he didn't know or have anything at all.
Well, how do you feel?
Lousy. If the burning was cover up, then maybe the big search of his room was cover up, too, to throw us off.
To throw you off. Not me. I wasn't in on it then.
Yeah. Well, one thing that's genuine.
What's that?
The corpse. An hour and a half later, a witness was delivered to the office of Lieutenant Martin. His name was Edmund Thompson. He sold papers in the dock area. Both Martin and I looked at him twice, and I could tell both of us were doubting the credulity of anything he might have to say.
Hi.
Hi. My name's Martin. This is Mr. Dollar.
Yes, sir. Glad to know you both.
Would you mind telling us everything you saw the other night?
Tuesday night. Yeah, it was Tuesday. Sure, why not? I saw this guy dumped in the water.
We understand that. Can you tell us the circumstances?
It's against the will of God.
Yes, it certainly is.
Against the laws of nature, too.
What did you see, Mr. Thompson?
I prayed for them both.
You tried, Dollar?
When did you pray?
Right after I saw it. Yes, sir.
On the street, huh?
No. I was on the vacant lot. I was cutting across towards the dock.
Oh.
Then I see this car pull up. Long black car. A lot of chrome on it. This fella jumps out and goes around to the back. He opens the trunk, and he pulls this other fella out. Hoists him up, and he carries him over the dock. Then he just lets him go.
Then you prayed.
Then I prayed. I was a little too scared to do anything else.
This car the man had.
Long black one. A lot of chrome.
Sedan or coupe?
What's the difference?
2 seats or 1 seat?
1 seat.
Happen to get the license number?
Uh,
All right. Let that go. How about the man? Can you describe him?
He stood there and looked down at the water and started himself a cigarette.
Well, what kind of a face did he have? Dark, light, a mustache, what?
A devil's face.
Oh, swell. Now, what does that mean?
A devil?
Mr. Thompson, do you understand that we want to apprehend this man, that he's responsible for one man's death, and that he might harm someone else?
I'll pray for him. Pray for him all.
Well, how was he dressed?
Didn't notice.
Hat?
Don't know.
Coat?
Don't know.
But he had a long black coupe. Do you know the make?
Nope.
Would you know him if you saw him again?
Nope.
Look, when you saw him dump a body into the water, why didn't you notify the police?
Why should I?
It's police business.
Let them take care of their business. I'll take care of mine. Any of you fellas got a cigarette on you?
I left Lieutenant Martin brooding over his witness and went out for a bite of dinner. When I called him later, he hadn't learned anything more, so I decided to call it a night and went back to my hotel. I found a note waiting for me from Jack Lang, the band leader friend of Iris Carter. Said he'd got a tip. She'd worked at one time at the Elmar Theater in the Bronx. If I learned anything, please let him know. He was still in love with her. Elmar Theater. I decided my night was far from over.
Hey, you. Buy a ticket out front if you want to look at the girl.
I only want to see one. Her name's Iris Carter. Does she work here?
I just told you, go buy a ticket out front.
Just tell me this. Does Iris Carter work here? Is the name familiar to you? Have you ever seen her or heard of her?
You give me any more trouble, I'll clouch. I told you, go out front.
Can't you answer a simple question? I'm looking for Iris Carter. Iris Carter.
You don't have to yell at mister. He never heard of it.
What?
Call me a cop, Gloria. This guy's
Pop,
giving me...
never mind. I'll take care of him. Come on, you. Iris Carter, is that what you said?
Yeah.
I gotta change. I gotta get back on in 5 minutes.
Then I'll talk to you later.
You haven't got much to say. Stick around. I'll change back at the screen.
Okay.
I'm Gloria Ward. Who are you?
Johnny Dollar.
What do you want with Iris Carter?
I want to see her and tell her something.
Tell me.
Well, for one thing, her ex-husband's dead.
What?
Oh, better watch that screen.
Oh. Say that again.
Joe Panny, her ex-husband's dead.
No kidding. That no good bum is really dead.
Yeah. Where can I find her?
She don't work here no more. Hasn't worked here in 4 or 5 years. She quit.
Well, where is she? You took over from the old man out there when you heard me mention her name. You've satisfied yourself that I'm really looking for her, so suppose
Don't flip with me, mister. I'm not satisfied about anything.
Where is she?
She got herself married to a nice guy.
Good for her. Is she in town?
You sure you just want to see her and tell her Joe's dead?
That's about it. I thought maybe she might be able to help me and the police find out who killed him.
He was killed?
2 days ago. They found his body today.
How do you know about that? Are you a cop?
I'm an insurance investigator.
And you have to see her?
You want it put in writing?
Don't get in a huff. What I'm getting at is this. Quick change, huh? Now listen. Iris is good. You know what I mean? And she's married to a nice guy now. Will any of this make her trouble?
Not if she hasn't done anything wrong.
Well, I can tell you she hasn't. If it does make trouble, it'd be a shame. She's set up nice, and I like to see a girl set well, don't you?
Certainly.
I haven't seen her almost since she left here, but... Well, you look like a right kind of guy. I believe you.
Thanks, Gloria.
She lives out in Long Island now. Her name's McCormick. Iris McCormick.
By the time I said goodbye to Gloria and walked out the stage door and got out into the alley, I thought I had most of it figured. The ex-wife of an ex-con married a wealthy Long Islander named McCormick. When the honeymoon was over, the safe was robbed. Walking out that alley, I was wondering whether to phone the police or Allied Casualty first.
Shooting! You've been hit.
Oh, it isn't bad. Did you see him?
I didn't see nobody.
The car. See the car, the one that just gunned out.
Oh, the car. Oh, yeah, a long black coupe, a lot of chrome. A fella didn't have his lights on. Hey, that's against the law. Hey, you need help, mister.
No, I'm all right.
Now, here's our star, Bob Bailey, to tell you about tomorrow's episode.
Thanks. Tomorrow, the end of the trail of a .38 caliber slug. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by John Dawson, the entire production is under the direction of Jack Johnstone. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, same time and station, for the next exciting episode of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking. From Hollywood, it's time now for Bob Bailey as
Johnny Dollar.
Ready with your party in Hartford, Connecticut, Mr. Dollar. Go ahead, please.
Hello, Mr. Barth.
Yes?
This is Johnny Dollar.
Johnny, what's up?
Now listen carefully, Ed. I've just been shot.
What?
Oh, it's nothing serious. I'm backstage at the Elmar Theater in the Bronx.
Johnny...
I'm all right. Now listen to me. I got a tip from old Mike Cairn, a convict, that a man named Joe Panny might have had something to do with the McCormick case a few years ago.
Yes, a jewelry case, $100,000.
Well, Panny's been murdered. I didn't get a chance to learn anything from him, but I have learned that Panny's ex-wife is married to Julian McCormick.
You've contacted our New York office?
I've been trying to get your man Frank Porter at his home, but no one answers.
It's going to be pretty nasty for Allied Casualty if she plotted with this Joe Panny to rob McCormick.
Yeah. Do you want me to wait and let Frank Porter handle it?
No. You go ahead. If somebody's throwing bullets around, they'd better be stopped before... Oh, well...
By me rather than Frank Porter, huh? Okay.
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Allied Casualty and Insurance Company Limited, Markham Building, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures incurred during my investigation of the McCormick matter. Item 11, $7.50, one bottle of scotch, which I sent the stage doorman out to get while I was calling Ed Barth at Allied Insurance. Apparently, everybody in the neighborhood thought the exchange of shots between me and somebody in a long black coupe were backfires. It was the doorman who dragged me back in the theater.
You got yourself a boy now, mister.
It's just a graze.
I sure don't get you. Call an insurance people and not police. Somebody fires a gun, don't you call the cops?
Have another drink.
That's the way it's easy. Hey, where you going? You should see a doctor.
Later. I went back outside in the alley where the shooting had taken place. 10 minutes of looking around, and I dug a pair of .38 slugs out of a telephone post. Expense account, item 12, $4.35, cab fare, Elmar Theater to Long Island. It was 12 o'clock straight up when I got to the McCormick home. There were no lights burning, and apparently everyone had retired for the night. I checked the garage first. A 55 Cadillac convertible and a 4-year-old Jag. No warm motors, no black coupes. I went to the house.
Oh, it's you.
Hello, Mrs. McCormick.
No, please. Please don't come in here. My husband. Oh, please. I don't know who you are, but I remember meeting you at the hotel the other day.
I'm Johnny Dollar, an insurance investigator.
Insurance? Oh, well, there must be some way we can fix this up. Talk to me tomorrow. I'll meet you somewhere.
How can you fix up murder?
Murder? What are you talking about?
Joe Penny's dead. Your ex-husband. He was shot with a .25. Just like the one you swung at me at the hotel.
Oh, no.
You want to tell me about that? All right, I'll tell you. Joe was your husband once. You helped him rob this house 5 years ago. He couldn't have done it alone. He wasn't that slick. He wasn't that good. He could steal a car, but a safe lock's different from ignition. Well?
Yes. Yes, I helped him do it. He made me. He promised me if I helped him, I'd never hear from him again. I opened the safe for him.
But you were down to see him at his hotel the other night. You searched his room.
Searched his room?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know anything about that. He called me, said he wanted money. I didn't know where he'd been for these last few years.
Up the river.
Oh, well, he wanted money. Only he wasn't there when I went there.
And I was.
Yes.
And the gun?
I went down there to kill him. But I didn't see him.
Not then. Later somewhere.
I haven't seen him at all, I tell you. Just talked to him on the phone. I don't suppose it'd make any difference if I told you I had a good reason. If I told you I love my husband very much.
Not likely, in view of the fact you helped your ex-husband rob him of $100,000 worth of jewelry 5 years ago.
Oh, I can explain that. Joe came around when we got back from our honeymoon. It's an old story. My past isn't all it... Well, anyhow, Joe threatened to tell my husband about it, unless I gave him money. I didn't have any, so I opened the safe for him that night. It was all I could think to do.
Yeah. Then you split with him later on.
I told you I haven't seen him. Why would I want to do that? I have everything I want in life right here. Mostly my husband.
Well, it's still a police matter, Mrs. McCormick. I spent a long time looking for you. Maybe you better get your coat.
Iris, you'll remain exactly where you are.
Julian.
And so will you, Mr. Dollar.
Julian, you heard what I said.
Don't worry about it, my dear. Mr. Dollar, I'm a gentleman. But this is a gun.
I noticed. A .38. I got a couple of slugs in my pocket that came from it.
Stand over there.
Now, this is pretty silly. You can put that thing away and we can settle this the only way it can be
My wife has
settled.
told you the absolute truth, Mr. Dollar. She's innocent of any wrongdoing so far as I'm concerned. Is that clear?
It's pretty glib, McCormick. She's accessory to a $100,000 heist and she hasn't done anything wrong.
If she wanted to give them away...
To an ex-husband.
To anybody. That was her affair. I would not press charges.
Well, that takes care of you. How are you going to square it with Allied casualty in the state of New York? And you also forget a little matter of a dead man.
But I haven't forgotten you, Mr. Dollar.
Julian, please don't. I've caused enough trouble, please.
Calm yourself, my dear. This is the least I can do for you after what you've done for me. Just being my wife. Mr. Dollar, will you accept money?
Not enough for murder.
50, 100,000... I'd hate to kill you, Mr. Dollar.
You tried once tonight.
You've referred to that before.
But you weren't very good, and now you're even worse. You forgot to take the safety off that gun.
The
Give me
safety?
that.
Oh, you've killed him. You've killed him.
Ah, he's all right. Get out of the way and let me see that gun. I wasn't interested in either one of them for the moment. I was looking at the .38 I'd taken from Julian McCormick. There was a smear of cosmoline still inside the barrel. I sniffed it, checked it, found all chambers loaded. It was a brand new weapon, and it had never been fired. Expense account item 13, $5.50, cab fare again, this time from Long Island to an apartment in Queens. The man I wanted to see was Allied Casualty's man, Frank Porter. He lived in a very polite neighborhood.
That's apartment 203. But Mr. Porter is not in, sir.
I'll wait for him.
Yes, sir.
It's all right if I sit in your lobby, isn't it?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I'd prefer that you waited somewhere else.
You would?
Well, this is a rather exclusive apartment building, sir, and we don't like people loitering in the lobby.
Well, I'm on a pretty exclusive mission. But you don't like the mud on my clothes and the tear on my coat, huh?
Are you a friend of Mr. Porter's?
Yeah.
Good friend?
He wouldn't mind if I waited in his apartment, if that's what you mean.
No, sir. Impossible.
But a couple of bucks can do wonders sometimes. It was quite a layout. Books, pictures, furniture, and whatnots that make living at home pretty agreeable. I propped myself up on a stool at Frank's little bar, poured myself a drink, and sat there waiting for him. I was like that a half an hour later when he showed up. He looked a little unsteady on his feet.
Oh, gee whiz. Johnny Dollar.
Hi.
You're the last person in the world I expected to see. I'm glad to light and let you in.
I didn't think you'd mind.
No, not at all.
I tried to phone you earlier tonight. You were out.
I'm sorry. Chief Whiz, what's on your mind, Johnny?
I wanted to tell you I was shot at tonight.
What?
I wanted to tell you I found out who Mrs. McCormick is and was. Since you were on the case first for Allied, I thought I'd tell you first.
Well, gee whiz.
Say, this is a nice setup. Full of nice things.
Yeah?
I've been in places like this before, Frank. They usually start at $300 or better a month. Good maid service, phone service. All those things cost money. A lot of money. Don't they, Frank?
Gee whiz. When'd you tumble to it, Johnny?
A little while ago, when I was out on Long Island, Julian McCormick made me a proposition. He finally offered me $100,000.
A lot of money.
He sounded like he'd had experience making propositions. I should have tumbled to it a couple of days ago when you phoned the parole office after I left you. You used my name when you asked for Joe Panny's address.
Yeah. I wondered if your tip was on the right track. I didn't figure Joe Panny was eligible for parole so quick. I had to get to him before you did. He wasn't the kind to keep his mouth shut.
You shut it for him, didn't you, Frank?
Mind if I sit down, Johnny?
Now, go ahead. They'll be strapping you down one of these days.
Gee whiz. No $150 a week investigating claims by nice places like this. It was one of those lucky things, Johnny. When I was called to Long Island to investigate that heist 5 years ago, I met McCormick's wife. Happened to recognize her as Joe Panny's ex.
And you knew McCormick was in love with his wife enough to pay you to keep quiet.
I gave him service for his money. The cops would have broken that case in 24 hours, but I covered up all the tracks I could find. And I made it real safe by seeing Joe send up the river.
How?
Just tipped off the cops to some of his hot car deals, and they picked him up. He happened to be carrying a gun, so he got the works.
Then you just sat around drawing blackmail from McCormick.
Gee whiz. Don't look at me like that, Johnny. Every guy has a price. How about you?
That's the second offer I've had tonight.
It's a good one. Joe Panny was a dumb guy. He picked up that jewelry and went right downtown and plunked it in a safe deposit box. It's been sitting there all the time he was up the river. Still worth...
Sorry, Frank.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Gee whiz. Gee whiz, Johnny, you are a good dick. You don't buy off. I just wanted to see, I guess.
Sure, Frank. Well, do we go in quietly?
You'd be surprised, Johnny, how quiet. You better dial for an ambulance if you want me to go to the trial.
What?
You were good in that alley back of the theater tonight, Johnny, when I tried to knock you off. I followed you all night looking for my chance. You nicked me twice. Dial the doc. Quick. Gee whiz, it hurts.
He died right there, without saying another word. The disposition of the case and what to do about Frank Porter, an insurance adjuster who goes bad, is a matter I don't have to handle. And I'm glad. Expense account item 14, hotel and board in New York City, $79.30. Item 15, $84, legal fees and incidental expenses involved in locating the widow of Mike Cairns, who it seems is still alive somewhere in Iowa and will accept half the reward as promised. Item 16, $14 even, transportation back to Hartford. Expense account total, $265.91. Remarks? Gee whiz. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here's our star, Bob Bailey, to tell you about next week's story.
Thanks. Next week, the story of a ship, the Molly K., Destination? Davy Jones' locker. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by John Dawson, the entire production is under the direction of Jack Johnstone. Heard in this week's cast were Mary Jane Croft, Virginia Gregg, Marvin Miller, Forrest Lewis, Frank Gerstle, Herb Butterfield, Herb Ellis, Tony Barrett, Ken Christie, Jack Crucian, and Junius Matthews. Be sure to join us on Monday night, same time and station, for another exciting story of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking.
Hollywood, it's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
Nick Walters, Johnny. Northeastern Fidelity and Bonding.
Oh, hi, Nick. How's with you?
Good and bad, Johnny. Good and bad.
Well, I'm sure it's nothing good you've called me about. What's the problem?
$58,000.
Lost, straight, or stolen? As if I didn't know.
Yeah, probably stolen. Ever heard of the Old Lang Syne Furniture Company?
I have not. Sounds like a gag.
It's no gag. Some of the finest traditional furniture in the world comes out of that plant.
Really?
It's up in northern Massachusetts in a little town north of Fitchburg, and it's run by a bunch of real characters.
Oh, how do you mean?
Well, I suggest that when you go up there, you wear a dark blue suit, white shirt, and black four-in-hand tie.
Huh?
Oh, and suspenders. Be sure you wear suspenders.
Are you kidding? Why?
Why don't you come over here at the office and let me tell you about it?
Yeah, Nick, I think I'd better.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
And now, Act One of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Northeastern Fidelity and Bonding Company, Home Office, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Two-Face matter. Expense account item 1, after shaving, showering, and donning the most funereal clothes I could find. Item 1, $1.10, taxi to Nick Weldon's office at Northeastern Fidelity and Bonding.
Just remember what I told you, Johnny. The Old Lang Syne Furniture Company is run by a bunch of characters.
Yeah, that's what intrigues me. That's why I came over here.
Oh, they're craftsmen, all right. The old school. May take them a couple of years to make an ordinary straight-back chair, but when it's done, it's the most beautiful thing you ever saw. And the finish they get on the pieces they turn out. Beautiful.
And expensive, too, huh?
Oh, sure, but worth it. Any piece of furniture they make will last 100, 500 years. Yeah, they're real honest craftsmen, the kind you don't see anymore.
Uh-huh. Well, apparently somebody wasn't too honest with them. So tell me all, Nick.
Johnny, it seems one of their lads has run off with some of the company money.
Yeah, you mentioned $58,000.
Yep. 58,433 to be exact, and those boys are exact.
Well, what did the police have to say?
Nothing. They were never called in.
Well, why not?
I told you the place is run by a flock of real characters.
Oh, brother, they must be. When did this happen?
Sometime within the past 3.5 years.
And you've just found out about it now?
That's right.
Well, how come?
I told you, John.
Yeah, that's right. You told me. They're a bunch of characters. But didn't their policy state that any claim had to be filed within 60 days of the loss?
Oh, we waived that for them. Struck it from the policy.
Why?
Because they don't like to be rushed in anything.
Rushed? After all, 60 days.
And don't forget, they only discovered the loss a bit over a month ago.
They even took a month to let you know about it.
Yeah.
And yet you say it could have occurred as much as 3.5 years ago.
Yeah, I know. But why don't you save the questions for Mr. J. Worthington Keesley?
Who's he?
Yeah, the senior member of the organization, I guess you'd call him. There are no officers, you know, president, vice president, and so on.
You mean a company big enough to suffer a cash loss of $58,000?
Johnny, I told you.
Yeah, that's right, you told me.
Yeah. So, will you go up there and see what's what?
Nick, I'm going up there for just one reason, on expense account, of course.
Of course.
And that is to take a good look at these crazy characters you've been telling me about. Item 2, 325 for a bus to Fitchburg, Massachusetts, where at the terminal I picked up a local to North Weldon, home of the Old Lang Syne Furniture Company. The name was appropriate. Located on the outskirts of the quiet little New England town, it consisted of a huge barn-like building that looked as though it had been standing there since the year 1. Surrounded by stately elm trees and a couple of gnarled ancient oaks, it looked, well, very picturesque. A large wrought iron weathercock raced one end of the high-peaked shingle roof and looked down on broad lawns and well-kept flower beds. The road leading up to it was just an old-fashioned dirt road, and I kicked the dust as I plodded along. Then suddenly I stopped. For there at the side, instead of automobiles, were, believe it or not, horses. Horses and carriages and a bicycle or 2 or 3. It was almost as though a picture of 50 or 60 years ago had suddenly come to life. And then inside, when I found Mr. J. Worthington Keesley, well, he looked like one of the Smith brothers. And sitting in front of a fine but ancient roll-top desk.
Of course we do, Mr. Dollar. Our fathers and their fathers before them all wore full beards. Therefore, we do, too. Would you like a bit of snuff, sir?
No. No, thanks.
Yes, it's one of the traditions, sir. The traditions to which we adhere in order that we may continue to fabricate the superlative furniture for which we've become famous over the past 107 years.
And I take it, Mr. Keesley, that the same thing applies to the horses and carriages out there at the side?
Yes, they were good enough for our grandparents, so they're good enough for us. I suppose that's why I should have suspected Mr. Twiller.
Mr. Twiller?
Roscoe James Twiller, Mr. Dollar. Here, sir, there's a picture of him. In this group photograph taken on the occasion of our 100th anniversary.
I feel like I ought to yell beaver.
I'm afraid his mighty shock of hair and magnificent beard misled me back in 1941 when I hired him. Yes, and I suppose I should have known when he gave up horse and Surrey to drive one of those newfangled motor cars.
Should have known what, Mr. Keesley?
That he was no longer a man suited to our fine establishment.
Is he the one who took off with your $58,000?
$58,433.41.
Are you sure? I mean, sure it was he?
Beyond a shadow of a doubt, sir. He was the only one beside myself who had a key to the vault in which we kept our building fund. And when he suddenly left us 3 years, 5 months, and 16 days ago, yes, I should have known.
But you didn't discover the loss until recently.
It was June 21st at 4 minutes after 10 that I went down to the vault. For the first time in 4 years, we had something extra to put aside.
And you discovered the money was missing?
The vault was empty. Except for this note.
Huh? Goodbye, suckers.
Horrid word.
Signed Twiller.
So you see, Mr. Dollar?
Yes, I do. It looks like he's our man.
No question about it.
And you've no idea where he might have gone?
None whatsoever.
Well, surely there must be some clue.
None whatsoever. But you must find him.
But that was 3.5 years ago.
Exactly 3 years, 5 months, and 16...
So where do I start?
Unless your company decides simply to reimburse us for our loss, that, Mr. Dollar, is up to you.
Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment. Sometimes we may wonder why a football team doesn't quit playing and walk off the field when it finds itself 50 points behind with only a few minutes of play to go. What is that indomitable spirit that fills men with hope and keeps them going in spite of terrific odds? Keeps them going just to play the game according to the rules, just to get the job done as well as they know how. This kind of spirit pervaded the feelings of heavy bomber crews of the 9th Air Force on that day of glory, August 1st, 1943, the day of one of the most secretly planned surprise bombing missions of World War II. The day of the low-level attack on the Romanian oil refineries at Ploiești. More than 170 B-24 heavily loaded bombers took off in a swirl of red dust from Benghazi, Libya, to bomb a highly defended priority target. The element of surprise in the low-level attack was to be one of their greatest weapons. But things went wrong from the start. 3 planes exploded during takeoff operations. 11 more aborted due to engine trouble. Of those that reached the target area, less than 1/3 returned to home base. The leaders of the mission encountered navigation difficulties and difficulty in identifying specific targets. And due to the loss of that elemental hope, surprise, they also encountered devastating enemy firepower from flak and fighters. The mission was partially successful, but a horrifying experience. 5 medals of honor were awarded to the heroes of the Ploiești raid for valorous action above and beyond the call of duty. At any time, the men would have been justified in turning back, but they had a code of conduct that made them want to see the unequal game through to the end. It was a job that had to be done. A charge of the Light Brigade in the air as they flew down the valley of death to glory. And now, Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Two-Faced Matter.
Okay, Mr. Keesley, it looks like this man Twiller is the one who walked off with the money in your safe when he left your employ.
No question about it. And unless you can find him, your company will have to pay the full amount of the loss.
Yeah, well, even if I do find him, the chances are he'll have spent that money. After all, 3 years and a half.
Exactly 3 years, 5 months, and 16...
You say you have no idea whatsoever as to where he might have gone.
With that much money, he could be anywhere in the world.
Uh-huh. Where did he live?
I don't know, sir.
What?
After all, it was none of my affair.
But if he worked for you a number of years...
I make it a rule never to pry into the affairs of others, except, of course, where the manufacture of fine furniture is concerned.
Well, doesn't anybody in this organization know anything about Twiller?
Possibly Mr. Bottomley.
Who's he?
He is presently engaged in creating a Hepplewhite table in the shop. Come, we shall speak with him.
The huge shop dated back 100 years at least. There wasn't a single power tool, not even a buzzsaw. But some of the tools looked as though they might have been used to build the ark. 8 or 10 men, all of them old, all wearing dark trousers, suspenders, and white aprons, were busy turning out fine pieces of furniture, carefully, almost lovingly. And every one of them wore his own distinctive full beard. Hooray for tradition. Mr. Keesley led the way to a man who was gently trimming the edge of some kind of a sideboard.
Good morning, Mr. Bottomley.
Good morning, Mr. Keesley.
You must pardon this intrusion, Mr. Bottomley.
It must be for good reason, Mr. Keesley. So you must understand that I cannot afford interruption if I am to finish this credenza by the end of the year coming.
Of course. I wish you to meet Mr. Johnny Dollar.
Good morning, Mr. Dollar.
How are you?
He is an investigator, Mr. Bottomley, come to get us back the money we lost.
Then he must find Mr. Twiller.
Exactly. Good morning, Mr. Thurston.
Good morning, Mr. Keesley.
Mr. Keesley tells me you know where this man Twiller lived.
He was my neighbor. Lived alone next door to me.
Where?
And I assure you, sir, I had no idea of his designs on the company building front.
Yes, I'm sure. But now if you'll
Each morning, he drove me to work in his carriage until he purchased that abominable motor car.
Oh?
I refused to ride in it, sir, and bought myself a bicycle.
You did properly, Mr. Bottomley. Good morning, Mr. Woodstone.
Morning, Miss Keesley.
Well, just where is it that Twiller lived, Mr. Bottomley?
In the village of North Weldon. East North Weldon, on Peach Avenue.
Well, then perhaps the authorities there will be able to give me some kind of a lead.
The authorities?
The police, Mr. Keesley. The police? Good heavens. I hope not, Mr. Dollar. Surely not the police.
Gentlemen, please. These gentlemen are right, the dollar. Think of the blot on our good name.
Now, look, your loss amounts to $58,000.
$58,400.
If I don't find this man, my company's going to have to pay off.
I know, but the police...
Now, look, my immediate job is to find this Roscoe James Twiller. And if I need the help of the police to do it... Who's the chief of police in North Weldon? Well?
The mayor, Mr. Dollar.
What's his name?
John Kenworthy Wilkins, Mr. Dollar.
Any of you know him?
We do not mix with the townspeople, Mr. Dollar.
We don't even go into town, Mr. Dollar. But I do have a picture of the mayor. Here, sir.
Bottomley, where did you get this?
He's running for re-election, Mr. Keesley. I found this poster in my carriage.
Well, get rid of it, man. This is indecent.
No, wait a minute. Let me see that.
Terrible, disgusting. Huh? Why, it's a disgrace to have such a thing within the walls of this fine old company.
Oh, no. No wonder the old boys were shocked. For His Honor the Mayor of North and East North Weldon was not only as bald as a billiard ball, but to top it off was clean shaven. Yeah, a picture like this within the walls of the All Lang Syne Furniture Company was real sacrilege. But I still hadn't done my job. I had to find this man Triller or let the company pay out $58,000. How to find him? I hadn't the least idea.
Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment. Times have changed, and so has the man. During the 18th and 19th centuries, warfare with its musket fire, cavalry charges, and cannonades was a simple, direct, easily understood type of conflict. The undisciplined but sharp-eyed revolutionaries hid behind trees and hedgerows to pick off the advancing British troops. The wild, dashing, hell-for-leather cavalry charges of the Civil War and Custer's encounter with Sitting Bull and the Sioux Indians were, though courageous, simple and direct. But they were far removed from the developments of the atomic age, which demands selectivity, skill, and rigorous training. Until recently, the soldier's general level of knowledge determined his job suitability. Today, however, with more and more complex weapons and equipment being used, the military needs large numbers of skilled technicians. To that end, tests have been developed to find men with intelligence and technical aptitude, and to develop in these men the needs of the future. Yes, times have changed, and so has the man. And now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar and the Two-Faced Matter.
I found the mayor of North Weldon sitting comfortably on the shaded porch of his home, fanning himself with an election placard and sipping at what looked suspiciously like a gin and tonic.
Yes, you're certain that I can't fetch you a limeade, too, Mr. Dollar?
No, thanks, Mayor Wilkins.
Yes. Well, now, as I started to say, when I first came here, I did hear some rumor about money having been taken from the old Lang Syne Furniture Company. But until they lodged a complaint with me, you see, I'm also chief of police.
Yes, well, from what I can see, they're pretty slow about things like that.
Yeah, well, they're slow about everything. But they make magnificent furniture.
Mm-hmm, I could see that. Tell me, did you know this Roscoe Twiller at all?
No, gone before I came to North Weldon.
Oh? Well, that was only 3.5 years ago.
And I came after that.
Yet you're the mayor of the town.
Village, really, Mr. Dollar. But lovely place. I've liked it ever since the first time I saw it. And when the people learned of my police record, my record in police work out in Ohio, why, they insisted that I take over my present jobs for them.
I see. And you have no idea where I could get a lead on this man Twiller?
No, sorry. Don't the people at the furniture factory have any ideas about him?
None whatsoever.
You're sure? I'm sure. Yes, well, if what you've told me is true about Hastings, the money, I mean, he is probably far, far away.
Yep, I'm afraid so. Just as far as I am from solving this case. Well, we chatted on for a few minutes, and then I left him in the hope of finding some erstwhile neighbor who might be able to give me some help. I headed across town toward Peach Avenue. And as I was about to pass the bus stop...
Bang! Bang!
Huh?
Bang! Bang! You're dead!
Oh.
And another redskin bit the dust.
Well, hi there, fella. Cowboy, huh?
Sure, I'm a cowboy and a policeman and an artist and everything.
Sure.
My name's Jimmy Carter. What's yours?
Johnny, darling.
Want to see some of my artistical drawings?
Yeah, sure I do, Johnny.
Just look at this cigarette advertisement here on the fence.
Uh-huh.
With my own crayons, too.
That's it.
How's that?
Jimmy, that's the most beautiful mustache I ever saw on any girl.
Sure. My teacher says I'm going to grow up and be a great artist.
Oh, sure.
But first I have to get a paint set.
Sure you do.
Hey, you see what I've done with this one?
Sure, you... Jimmy.
That's our mayor.
Yeah.
He's running for re-election. That's why he has all these signs all around. Don't you think he looks a lot better with some hair on his old bald head?
And a little Charles Shaleed.
Now I'm going to put a beard on him. See? Like some of those old men at the furniture factory.
Stay with us, Jimmy. Stay with us.
Ah, they're funny old men. Like this. See?
Uh-huh.
Only they never come in town. Never. There. Doesn't that look like one of them? There.
Jimmy, that's so good, I'm going to say that.
Really?
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot.
Really?
I sure do.
I didn't know I was that good.
Jimmy, you'll never know how good you are.
Well, you back so soon, Mr. Dollar?
Mayor Wilkins, or rather, Chief Wilkins.
Yeah.
I have to ask you to make an arrest.
You mean you've found the man that you've been looking for?
If there's any question about it, I'll make a civilian arrest.
Oh, I don't understand, sir. Only a few minutes ago.
Only a few minutes ago, I was blind as a bat to the most obvious possibility in the world. You showed up in this town a short time after Roscoe Twiller left.
Yes, that's true.
Roscoe Twiller, with a heavy shock of hair and a thick beard.
Well, I understand it's all men out at the old Lang Syne furniture.
You, clean-shaven, completely bald.
Mr. Dollar.
I should have realized by the funny pink tint on the top of your noggin that you've been using some kind of hair remover.
I beg your pardon, sir.
Here. Look at yourself.
Yes. What'd you say?
Roscoe James Twiller, alias John Kenworthy Wilkins.
Now, Mr. Dollar.
And I'll bet that if I make a search of your house, I'll find the key to that vault in the furniture factory.
No, I threw it away.
Yeah. Do you want to make the arrest yourself, Twiller? Or shall I? I don't know why Twiller gave up so easily. I guess it was because I'd caught him completely off guard. He even signed a confession and promised to pay back what he could. So, from here on in, it's up to the courts. And all thanks to a little kid who liked to draw mustaches on billboards. Expense account total, including the finest paint set I could find for my little pal Jimmy. Ooh, hey, wait, I gotta pad this. It only comes out to $9.80. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is written, produced, and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Will White, Herb Vigran, Forrest Lewis, Edgar Barrier, Richard Beals, Bill James, and Gus Bays. Be sure to join us, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Roy Rowan speaking.